Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. It is that time again. It is the end of year award show. Technically, it's the start of the year. It is, as we record this today, January 6th. Unlike, or quite like Chris Jericho, we are not at the US Capitol building. So I'm joined by my fellow insurrectionists, Jay Luft, Ollie, and Faye. Don't know why I could use Jay's surname, but hey, here we go. We're all here. Just in case there's another Jay out there. I think Ollie and Faye were unique enough. I figured Faye and Ollie were unique enough names to not cause any confusion. But yeah,
you say that. There's a girl that works in Chester with my exact name who emails our company often, and it really, really throws me off, and I hate it.
So I transferred someone through on a call today in work to someone also called Ben, and it was like in my head we did the Spider-Man meme. It was great.
That's how it works. It's either Spider-Man or Highlander.
Yeah, there can be only one. I must kill him. But hey. How's everyone doing? Are we all excited? Did we enjoy wrestling in 2025?
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty good year.
Yeah, it was.
It's rare to get a bad year from wrestling these days. Like a bad year these days is just like it's like a bad year would just be an average year where there's like everything's like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's not like 7 years ago when a good year was us getting the scraps.
I mean, you say that. I've seen bits from like Evil's match at Wrestle Kingdom, and also bits from CM Punk and Bron Breakker, which nearly gave me a fucking nosebleed for the worst pile driver I've ever seen.
That was this year.
That's 2026.
That wasn't 2025. The way we're safe.
Starting the year off strong, guys.
This year we might be getting Evil versus The Miz, and the year's in the fucking gutter.
It's fine.
Yeah, but we also had Tanahashi and Okada, and it was all good.
That's true.
So before we get into that, I'll just explain, obviously, because of our proclivities and our sort of tastes, this is very, very much an AEW heavy award show. You'll see what happens as we get into it. There's a few other little bits and bobs going in. I think Faye snuck some Brit Wrestling in there somewhere. It's like that. It's like that Simpsons meme. It's like, oh, there's a Brit Wrestling in my awards, and Faye's like, I slipped it in there while you weren't looking.
I'm genuinely shocked there's not more, to be honest. Looking at what Faye's usually.
And there's a little spattering of mystery wrestling where it comes through as well, because we all enjoy that.
I might have one to add on for Moment of the Year, so you can come back to me for that one.
Fine, I threw a couple in like literally 2 hours ago, so don't worry about it. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to read out, if you haven't been listening to this last few years when I've literally shamelessly stolen this off the Giant Bomb podcast, we're going to talk about a category. I'm going to read off some nominees. We're going to have a little discussion. We're going to name 3 finalists, and then out of those 3 finalists, we're going to pick one winner. So we'll have like a podium and then one ultimate winner. We may as well get right into it because we've got quite a few categories. So we'll start with little fanfare, because that's how this art form as a whole feels has been treated over the last year or so, with Tag Team of the Year, because tag teams have been on the breaks a bit. I think the last couple of years. I think it's getting a little better, but hey, I don't think it's been a banner 2 or 3 years for tag team wrestling in big companies anyway. So our nominees for Tag Team of the Year are Brodito, the Young Bucks, FTR, Jet Speed, Hurt Syndicate, and YDNP, who I don't know who they are.
It's 2 wrestlers you like. It's Jordan Oliver and Alec Price.
I do like both of those people.
Yeah, they're a good tag team, to be fair.
One of those wrestlers has asked me for marijuana.
Yeah, one of those wrestlers I've helped get marijuana.
Yeah.
Right. Anyone?
One of those wrestlers has Nat's number.
I didn't know that,
which is funny, because we helped him buy weed. Right, so there you go, a little peek behind the curtain. We haven't done anything illegal. Don't arrest us. It's fine.
Fine.
I didn't sell him the weed. No. I just put him in touch with someone who could sell him the weed.
Right. First things first. I think one that goes straight into the final is the Young Bucks.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think so. They started the year off as champions. They had a couple of really good matches. They did miss a bit. They had a little lighter schedule towards the end of the year, but do you think like they were in Anarchy in the Arena? They guts.
They started the year off as New Japan champions, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they went missing from AEW for the Arsenal.
It was Wrestle Kingdom, wasn't it?
Yeah, because that was when Matt started his new travel vlog as well.
Although I will say, Faye's gonna fucking crucify me for this. I wouldn't put them top team purely because I'm wearing the top team shirt, and also more realistically because I think the Young Bucks have been like they had like that sort of like 3-4 months at the start
They've
of the
been
year
like
where
a faction people this year, haven't they?
yeah
More than a
they've been
I'll-
more prolific in like multi-man matches as
Yeah.
opposed to straight up
tag
tag
team
matches.
matches. Yeah.
So first of all,
I'll
Jay,
agree with that.
top team are gone now. Dan Lambert's not a thing anymore. Don't worry.
One day. But no, but I would say the Young Bucks probably deserve to be in the top three. I just don't think they should be top.
Do I hear
That's
any
fine.
objections to the Young Bucks going to the final?
No, I think of all the teams, they've had the best story throughout the year as well. So, like, not in terms of matches, but actually in terms of emotional investment in them. The rise
Yeah.
and very much fall of the Broken Bucks
And the
has
rise
been
again.
has been some of the best kind of storytelling regarding a tag team this year. So I think
I
it's
mean,
just
they
done that a
brought
lot.
back being the elite, which I think by itself
Yeah.
should put them into the top three. Just for that. Yeah, Ollie,
And we
totally agree.
got a TM Faye reference in one of
did.
their entrances.
We did.
And Okada stole the gear again, which was hilarious.
Yeah, which
He
is the
did.
best.
Yeah, okay, so they're in. I'm guessing, Jay, you want to talk about Brodido?
I sure as shit do. Just because when they were kind of put together in like the sort of middle of the year, I was like, oh, this is a cool team. I hope they stick around. And it was very much for like that tag team tournament. They end up having like a really good tag team title run. Didn't have a bad defense. Didn't have a bad match in the whole title run. And even then, when they lost the titles, I thought, oh, maybe they'll split them up. And nope, still going strong.
Yeah, I must admit, I was a little upset with how the reign ended. Because it kind of just petered out against, and it was the FTR as well, which I just could not give two fucks about.
I don't know. I thought that match was perfect.
It was a good match, but I was a little disappointed by the finish. However, I remember how electric they were on the run up to Forbidden Door. Like when that finisher. Can we talk about that finisher? Because it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Where Brody just like somehow like sonic whipping Bandito into people, which is just with his feet, which is just nuts. Yeah, I love it. I love Bandito. I love Bandito. I love Brody King. And they're still, even though they're not the tag champions anymore, and they haven't like really been competing in a tag division because Bandito's been doing like Ring of Honor stuff. However, and he just won the Diamond Ring, and he's challenging MJF for the world title. But they're still cool. Like Bandito came out dressed as Brody the other week, and then Brody proposed to him with his ring after he won it, which was really nice.
I think in terms of actual investment in the tag titles and the tag division, because you can always argue that the Young Bucks are almost outside of the tag division at times. They've had not too much in the way of interaction with the AEW tag titles, for example. Brodido, I think, was a team that, I don't know, it made people care about the tag team division in a way I don't think people expected to. Just because it's a thrown together tag team, they didn't think much of it, and yet by the end of it, you've got people chanting along. You know, you've got
the Macarena.
You've just got so many. It made you like care about the division again. Like their matches with FTR, their matches in the Hurt Syndicate, like they made you give a shit about the tag titles. So I'd definitely be up for cool having them in the top three.
Okay, so we'll put them. I think the case is strong there. We'll put them in. Right, that means we've got four with respect to.
Can we throw FTR in the sea? Can we just have that done?
I was going to say, with respect to Young, Dumb, and Price, we've now got to go 3 into 1 because it's FTR, Jet Speed, or the Hurt Syndicate into the final as well.
Get Hurt Syndicate out because they refuse to lose most of the time.
Yeah,
their matches are good though. You know what I mean? Like they've had banger matches this year.
What's so mad about the Hurt Syndicate is they should be shit. Like they're aging ex WWE guys who've never really, I know Bobby has, but who never really worked anywhere else.
Shit! On a ball of fucking New Japan run, how dare you?
Yeah.
But like everything says like these should be like guys who are just like coming over to take the paycheck, but then they turn up and just literally throw people all over the place, and it's really fun.
The revival of Shelton Benjamin alone has been a fucking like as a fucking world's greatest tag team mark. Like Shelton Benjamin's like run this year, his bangers he's had, the deadliest fucking super kick in the business. Like, Jesus Christ, that thing looks like it legitimately breaks people's jaws every time he hits it. Like, for that alone, yes, how they lost the tag titles is fucking stupid. Yes, it can be argued that are they collecting a paycheck versus are they just very, very controlling about the way they're booked. I don't know. I've loved seeing Shelton Benjamin get his flowers.
Can I say something in their defense in that way? And like, obviously, it's not much of a defense, but like, if you have been treated the way you've been treated in WWE, you would then be very particular about how you're booked, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
My only knock on my only real knock on the Hurt Syndicate was I thought the tag team title run was the absolute shit.
Yeah.
I have liked what they've done for the Gates of Agony though. They've made people care about the Gates of Agony. Like,
but I don't think I enjoyed a single one of the title defenses.
They should have dropped the belts to Jet Speed at it All In. Jet Speed was so like hot going into All In. And
I fucking love Jet Speed.
Yeah, another like that's the thing. The arguably two of the best tag teams this year are just two teams that have just kind of been thrown together because they wanted to get them on TV all the time.
So on the other hand, Jet Speed. So I've never mixed Monster Energy and hard drugs and injected it straight into my bloodstream. But I imagine watching Jet Speed is what I imagine that would feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jet Speed goes through.
I wouldn't be against Jet Speed going through. I do think, as far as the actual year, I think FTR have probably done more. And even when you look at like the fact that they've helped like play a part in elevating teams like Brodido and Jet Speed, and also like obviously the stuff with Cope and Christian and just the heel turn in general, they've been they have felt like a new.
FTR always work better as heels, and I think that with Stokely especially, they've found
I
real
think
dynamic.
well, that's it. I think it's Stokely that's really revitalized and energized FTR this year. I do feel that FTR were like. I didn't particularly care about FTR towards the start of this year. I've enjoyed FTR in the past. This year for me they felt a bit until they got Stokely involved, and then for me it's been Stokely's resurrection with them, and just the charisma that Stokely brings to anything is insane. And I've enjoyed like as the douchebag heels, the work they have done, like you said, Jay, with Brodido, with putting over Jet Speed, making them feel credible in the division. Like the stuff they've had solid years this year.
Yeah, I think we'd be remiss not to give FTR the flowers for the fact that they have played quite a big part in helping revitalize that tag division by elevating other teams. Like, I don't think they're the best team there, but I think we wouldn't be talking about Brodido and Jet Speed the way we are without them.
True.
Okay.
However, if it comes down to a coin flip between these two teams, I think if the idea of watching Jet Speed on my weekly wrestling show fills me with great excitement. The idea of watching the upcoming FTR Cope and Christian program fills me with cold dread.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like Speedball Mike Bailey's one of my favorite wrestlers, so I'd happily pick Jet Speed over them. I just thought it would.
I think FTR makes sense in terms of. I feel like we'll have a chance to be like next year. Jet Speed are number one, or Brodido. Well, Brodido is number one, but like Jet Speed's number one. You know what I mean?
See, you like as well. You think about FTR, and they had the fucking they had the CML titles this year as well. They have that on top of it. Like their matches in CMLL were fucking good. Like FTR against a bunch of luchadors is fucking good, no matter what you say.
Yeah.
So are we leading FTR then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Because we all hate fun.
I love Jet Speed, but I feel like FTR have done more, whereas Jet Speed have been.
If Jet Speed had beaten the Hurt Syndicate and had a tag runner themselves, I think they'd be in the question for it. But I think having the tag titles and the run kind of elevates it a bit more, if you know what I mean.
I think Jet Speed, as good as they've been as a team, they've probably been better as singles guys as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, fair.
Like,
And so it's Brodito then. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
Brodito,
Gotta
yeah.
be.
Like I said, as much as we talked about the Young Bucks, they made you emotionally invested throughout the course of the year, but Brodito made me give a shit about the tag division again.
Yeah.
I'm
I feel
forever biased about the Young Bucks, so I don't think anyone can ever talk to me
I think
about them.
the Bucks might get some more accolades coming down the road here because
There's
we've got
probably-
some other categories, so we could maybe see them a little bit later. Okay, so congratulations to Brodito, who are tag team of the year with finalists the Young Bucks and FTR. Magic. Expanding slightly on tag team of the year, we're going to move to faction of the year. So our
This is
nominees.
hard.
This is like, I mean, it's mad how factions are back in a big way in AW.
I think it's the easiest one to pick.
So we have the Don Callis family, we have the Herd Syndicate, we have the Ops, we have the Conglomeration, we have Triangle of Madness, and we have the Death Riders.
I mean,
How is it the easiest one?
because the Don Callis family is a fucking murderer's row. It's got literally, like, you look at like our matches of the year. Like, where are we? It's literally got like at least three of the members are in the matches of the year.
All I say about the Don Callis family is when Josh Alexander's your job guy, you know you're doing really well.
We said this last week, didn't we? Like,
For me, with the negative I have against the Don Callis family, and I'm someone that loves all the members of it, is that they've never once felt like a faction to me.
feels like
Don
loads
Callis-
of groups of people.
The Don Callis family just feels like a bunch of guys that Don Callis is the agent for, which I love. It makes them different. But like you say, it's a murderer's row. There's only 3 people in that team that people give a fuck about. It's Fletcher, it's Okada, and it's Takeshita.
Whoa, Hechisero's right there.
Yeah?
Hechisero is there, but he's also not. You know what I
I
mean?
give a
Like,
shit about Hechisero.
Me too.
AEW doesn't, right?
Yeah, that's
He's there when he's there when they're touring Arena Mexico and stuff like that.
He's had some fucking bangers this year, though.
I love how if we talk about if we sort of compare Don Callis family to the Conglomeration, because they're kind of like the polar opposite. If this was like if this is a superhero film, then they would be the evil team and the good team. But Hechisero is just like evil Ishii, which I really like.
Yeah, basically.
yeah.
So
Okay,
which brings
Don Callis,
me to my next point of discussion: Conglomeration. Can we talk about them?
I'm always down to conglomerate.
They've got ladies. Well, they've got at least 1.5 ladies.
That's
because Harley Cameron is sometimes involved.
At the moment, it's
and Harley Cameron transcends gender. She's just feral.
I mean, at this point, I feel like if people aren't in the Don Callis, if heels aren't in the Don Callis, like every heel's in the Don Callis family and every babyface is in the Conglomeration. That's just how it is in AEW. It's like,
guys, Death Riders are right there.
It's like that meme, is it? Like there are 2 genders, and it's like the Don Callis family or the Conglomeration.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they have like a sorting hat backstage, and when you sign with AW, they put and it's like you're either in the Ops, the Death Riders, the Don Callis family,
like Mean Girls.
It's just everybody else. If you're not in an actual trio or group of 4, you're just either in the Gondaz family or you're in the Conglomeration.
You
That's
get
just how it
automatically
is.
assigned.
It's like
they're like the schools you go to if you don't get into like a posh one.
Yeah, it's like the New Japan fucking coalition. You know what I mean? Like anyone who's not in like the Bullet Club or Los Ingobernables or the House of Torture, they're just in the coalition. That's how it is.
Yeah. Or you're in chaos now. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone fucking the Conglomeration was chaos for the longest fucking time, technically, until it disbanded.
Until Okada went evil.
So Conglomeration, it's done really well with obviously members like Orange Cassidy, Roddy Strong, who is a conglomerator depending on no matter what you say, Mark Briscoe, Kyle
O'Reilly's had a great year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes.
But again, I don't know what I don't know if the Conglomeration have necessarily done much by themselves. Again, like Ollie said about the family, it's more of a collection of individuals.
They did have an actual feud with the Death Riders. Like, you don't get Blood and Guts and the rise of Kyle O'Reilly without the Conglomeration feud with the Death. You know what I mean? Like, they had that, right? Like, that felt like something. So, because like even
Mark Briscoe had that great feud with Kyle Fletcher all year,
but that also felt separate, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like, that felt like it was just those two.
At the end, it wasn't it? Because
So then let's talk about the Death Riders then, because if that's your concern, then the Death Riders are the most unified force on this list.
And they
For
have
now.
been at the centre of every fucking
The
storyline.
Death Riders
this
are
year.
fine, Jay. They're absolutely fine.
For now, Mox is in so much danger.
But they have also had the most as like you
Yeah.
said, Faye, they've been the heart and soul of this year for AEW.
It's
Whether
the golden
been,
thread,
yeah,
except
They've-
it's bloody and evil. But you know what I mean?
And it's made
Like-
out of a plastic bag for some reason.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
like it is. It's been like the core theme throughout all of this year is the Death Riders. And I know I used this argument to get the Elite to win Faction of the Year last year,
You fucking
but
did.
I'm using the same logic this year for the Death Riders. So
This is Faye's version of the Chewbacca defense.
yeah, this is
It
it,
fucking is.
and it fucking works.
I mean, but
for this year alone, it does. Yes.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
at least it makes sense this year. Last year it didn't.
It did make sense last year.
No,
Go
it
back
fucking
and watch
didn't.
it. Yes, it did.
So, with respect to the Herd Syndicate, the Ops, and Triangle of Madness, who are literally trios, do
Yeah.
we just send the other three up and then Death Riders win?
Oh, the Ops aren't a trio anymore.
They've got Hook.
They've got four
Oh, yeah,
people.
Hook
And
went
they've
away
got
and
all
came
those
back.
little guys.
They got the Ops Dojo.
That's not a real thing.
It's like Samoa Joe's version of the Fuck Clan. How dare you?
It's
Stop trying-
a
stop.
real.
Stop trying to make the Ops Dojo happen.
Remember those ninjas that took Samoa Joe in TNA? He's recruited them. Now they're in the Ops Dojo.
That's all their kids.
Just to kind of put a spotlight, because I put Triangle of Madness in there. Like what the three of them have done, especially Thekla in particular, has done for the women's division this year is like they've been a highlight for me. The three of them, like Thekla is like feel like she's fucking brought such a fucking energy to the division, and the Sky Blue and Julia Hart, like they've just bound I really like them together as a tag team as well. What they've done they're going to be big in the tag team division next year, for fucking certain.
Big
I-
energy, and sometimes energy is whipping someone viciously with a belt, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I genuinely think this time next year we'll be talking about Triangle of Madness and the argument for Faction of the Year, because I think all three of them are going to have like massive years.
Yeah.
So while I don't think they should be in it this year, I do think that
Just
next-
the end of year that they've had, right?
yeah. Like the only issue I've had with Triangle of Madness is that they've kind of like, and it's no fault of their own, but they've been a little bit stop-start at times where like
Petered
obviously
off, haven't they now as well? Like they
Well,
picked that up now, but
Just
Jamie
while we've been
Hayter got
talking,
hurt and the feud was meant to happen and all that, but yeah.
just while we've been talking, I've just highlighted the three that we talked about. So Don Carlos Family, Conglomeration, and Death Riders. I think they are the easy triple picks, and I think based on Faye's point, I think Death Riders are the winners here.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Like with that,
I'll concede to that. But
Only one person in one of these factions, Jay, had Warhammer themed gear, so you know.
Yeah.
That's
It's an easy win for me.
Yeah, that's
that is a payoff that is going to happen next year.
Only one of them is going to do Exterminatus and John Moxley.
only-
So,
and only one of those factions isn't going to be around next year. So
yeah, I feel like we really have to get the Death Riders in now before they inevitably explode.
before Claudio does a murder on Mox.
Right, okay, so that gives us Don Carlos Family, Conglomeration, and Death Riders, with the Death Riders being Faction of the Year. Congratulations.
Fuck yeah.
To them. I'm not going to tell any of them because they'll scare the shite out of me.
You can probably
Tell-
tell Claudio when he's
Jay-
not wearing his purity seal.
Jay, tell Pac he likes you.
Pac hates
Never,
me.
he's never called you a word that I can't say in polite conversation.
Pac called me a cunt because I tried to take a picture of him.
Yeah, I'll tell Claudio if I see him in a coffee shop because he's
Yeah.
getting a nice
Yeah.
latte. Lovely. Right, next then, Show of the Year.
Every AEW pay-per-view
Basically,
ever.
everyone. Oh, we put Revolution on here.
I did because it's a fucking banger of a pay-per-view.
That match, though.
You ignore that final match. That is the best run of 9 matches on a pay-per-view card that you will ever gonna get.
Right, so we have AEW. So these are all, unless otherwise specified, all AEW. So we have All In, Forbidden Door, Double or Nothing, Blood and Guts, World's End, Revolution, and then GCW versus the People. Does anybody know anything about this?
Wasn't that the one in Hammerstein, which was like shite?
No, that was
that's
the World on
GCW
GCW.
versus the World.
Oh,
That was like 2 years ago. 4 years ago, maybe? I don't know.
Pass.
No, they do it every year, don't they?
They do it
Is
Hammer-
it, is it
Do you
still
want me to get
shit?
the card up
Go
for
on,
this
then.
one just so we can
Someone's got to.
throw it?
And I mean, it's Ryan's pick.
I know, but we'll give it a
And he's
Yeah,
not here to
glance.
defend it.
This is what happens every year.
This is true.
Unless like Kenta Kobashi came back and like somehow made an appearance on this card, it ain't going anywhere. I tell you now.
Right. So the card was. Let me get it up once everything behaves itself. We got. What the hell? Why is this being weird? Someone with working internet, have a look at this, please. Because for some reason, me computer's having none of it.
GCW versus the people.
2025. I got you.
Oh, I've got it up now. So we've got
Nope.
no.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, this was the one that was fucking dog shit. Where
Hold on. Grim Reaper was on the card. We're
no, we're not doing it.
We're back in business.
No.
Is this the one where Ali Catch broke her leg?
Yeah, it was a fucking terrible show. Because it just
It was
derailed
the
the whole
one,
show.
January
Yeah.
19th. Yeah.
Absolutely
Okay,
not. No, I had to sit through Josh Barnett versus Baron Corbin in a fucking Bloodsport match, which says here was less than 10 minutes, and I refuse to believe that. And also Jimmy Lloyd versus Matt Cardona. No, thank fucking you.
Again, Baron Corbin fans don't live longer. It just seems longer.
The only match on that card which was half decent was Joey Janela versus
I knew that was going to be that.
versus Masato Tanaka.
Gringo Loco was in it though.
And also, to be fair, Alec Price and Cole Radrick versus Balances Forever was fun. But other than that, no chance. Get the fuck out of here.
So I've just been reliably informed by Sarah via text, but via internet messaging that show has a 2.89 on Cage Match.
It sure does. Yeah. Absolutely not.
So we've got basically the equivalent of The Room as a wrestling show.
Yeah.
And Ali Catch broke her leg.
Which means in about 20 years' time, some problematic actors are going to make a film about it. But hey.
God.
Yeah, so off that fucks. So it's all AEW then. Yay, surprise. There is some WWE stuff coming up later for you people. I put it in there just so you don't feel left out. Don't worry.
I love that Blood and Gut isn't even like a pay-per-view.
No, but it was fucking great.
I know. No, I know, but I'm just saying. I just think it's very funny that it's on there.
I think that goes through to the top three.
I think that goes through.
I think it goes through.
Just on the back of the women's Blood and Gut match alone.
Should we start from the top then?
Yeah, all in. Again, big show, big moments. We'll talk about a bit more about that later. Obviously, the feel-good hit of the summer, as well, several hits as Hangman and Moxie hit each other for about 25 minutes with everything they had. And that was probably. I think I can't remember what else happened on that show because my brain was so absorbed by that.
All in. We had Tony versus Mercedes, which was ace.
Yep.
We had
incredible match.
Kenny versus
Trent hit the Rizzler.
Was that show?
It was also a pre-show match. That show.
It was the Okada Omega match.
It was the Okada Omega match.
The most expensive match in wrestling history.
You had it was the Bucks versus Strickland and Ospreay.
That was very good.
That might be on a list further down. Okay.
Dustin Rhodes winning the TNT title.
That was brilliant.
Adam Coleman as all cry as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jay, you were in our house for that. You were in Nats for that.
I was in Nats for that. Yeah.
We all had an existential crisis.
We all did because we saw the thing that was like, oh God, Cole's here. Oh God.
Does all go straight in then? Because I think that is bell to bell the best card that they had this year.
2 casino gauntlets, which were both great.
Yeah, they were. The women's one was better though.
Oh yeah, because MJF didn't win the women's one. And the Ops versus the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd. Yeah, I'd got no objections with that just going straight up.
Because just for off the strength of that main event alone, it's amazing what a main event can do to a show, isn't it, Ollie? Should we talk about Revolution?
Revolution, hands down. Yes, it was the very start of the year.
Oh my God!
But it is the
shade of that.
It is the other than the last half an hour, which I'll grant you, it is the best AEW show they put on this year.
I'm just trying to find the card for it.
I've got it here. We've got
it is a banging card.
Versus Lee Johnson and Blake Christensen.
That's on the pre-show.
We can talk about the pre-show.
To be fair, we had MJF vs Hangman, which was brilliant.
You had the Osprey Fletcher fucking steel cage match, which
that was very good.
You had Omega versus Takeshita for the international title.
That was very good.
You had the Hollywood ending.
That was
probably should have main evented.
You had Okada versus Brody King.
Yeah,
that was fine.
Swerve versus Ricochet.
That was
so
good.
You had Okada versus Brody King, which didn't quite get to the top gear, and
Okada,
then you had Hurd sitting for the Outrunners, which was a bit of a clunker.
Yeah. Although Daddy Dave did have 3 back-to-back 5-star matches on that card. So there is that, to be fair.
Was it Tony and Mariah?
Yep.
Tony, Mariah, Kenny Takeshita,
Whoa,
Osprey
wait, hang
Fletcher.
on. Dave gave a women's match 5 stars.
He fucking did, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's going through.
And that is a 5-star match that went less than 13 minutes. That match it's one of my favorite matches of the year. Is the Hollywood ending?
Same.
I love that. So yeah, it was like here's a 5-star match that went under 13 minutes, and then followed out with here's 2 more 5-star matches that are half an hour each.
Yeah, that are barely sub fucking 30 minutes.
You're giving you all the different types of
AEW. I'm blaming Hollywood for that main event.
If the Hollywood ending had gone on last in the main event, Revolution people would be more fun, would be more forgiving about the AEW World Title match.
No, it's all Copeland's fault.
So what upsets me so much about that main event with Cope and Moxley is they did a much better match like 2 weeks later on TV.
Yeah.
I think that's what annoys me about it.
It's that's the whole like Adam Cole Chris Jericho thing as well. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah, if they put that match on, if they put the match they had on Dynamite on the pay-per-view, this would be AEW's perfect pay. This would be one of the most perfect pay-per-views they've ever done.
Yeah.
Especially if they had those final 4, those as a final 4 Killers Row of matches. Like no other pay-per-view is beating this.
I think we can probably. I just put it on because we were there. I think we can probably take out Forbidden Door.
I thought Forbidden Door was fine. I didn't think it was the best show that we've had in London.
We had Rodito winning, which was lovely. It was air conditioned, which was absolutely incredible.
It was.
But I can't give it points for being air conditioned.
I mean, I remember Rev Pro. Do you, Tasty?
I do. Ollie, do you remember Forbidden Door? Because you looked like shit before this show.
Oh, good was I fucking.
Oh my god!
I literally just like came over and saw Ollie like cradling a pizza like it was a child.
I saw Ollie and I offered Jay a painkiller for his head, and Ollie was like, "You have painkillers." I was like,
I forgot about that.
Jesus, I was steaming that so much. Fuck
that
me.
was so funny. Yeah, I think looking at Forbidden Door, there was a couple of good matches. Like Swerve and Okada was really good.
Yeah. But we did get the sadness of Swerve being murdered in front of everyone.
And then Will Ospreay getting murdered by the Death Riders.
Yeah.
I mean, sadness, happiness, depends who you are. But that match was very good as well. The Death Riders versus like Team AW.
We got the gummy bear spots as well.
There was a better Death Riders versus Team AW match this year, which I think is why I think Double or Nothing should be the third one this year.
There was 2, to be fair, because we had the Conglomeration and Death Riders and Blood and Guts as well.
But in terms of Death Riders versus the World, Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing alone is a fucking banger of a multi-man chaos match.
Yeah. So if we accept them for Forbidden Door, it's was a solid match card, but didn't quite make it. Should we talk a little bit about Double or Nothing real quick? So Anarchy in the Arena, as you said, Ollie.
We had Hangman versus Osprey in the fucking finals.
Yeah.
Like,
Mercedes versus Hater.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okada
versus Speedball 1.
Yep. Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe.
Paragon versus the Don Callis family.
Yep. Tony versus Mina.
Yep. Yeah. Ricochet versus Briscoe in the stretcher match.
Yeah,
and it was one of Nigel McGuinness's matches this year when he had the tag team match with the FDR.
It was one of the Nigel McGuinness matches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Again,
also,
good.
Seeing Nigel.
Not sure if it's going to beat some of the others.
I think it should be the third. I think it's got. I don't put. Obviously, I've got favourites for what I think is the best one, but I think it should be up there for at least being considered third
out of
in the top 3.
Out of everything else there, I'd probably say it should be the third. Like, Blood and Guts was like a really good show, but when you're looking at actual like Like,
And I think the fact that we're putting it on the same list as pay-per-views shows that it was a really good show. But
yeah,
I think it just inherently suffers by being a TV show and not a
Yeah.
4-hour pay-per-view.
yeah, because it was at the end of the day, it was 3 matches.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be hurting because it's on a TV. So there
Maybe
are,
next
whereas,
year we should do best pay-per-view, best TV thing.
Yeah,
Possibly, yeah. Okay, so if we accept that maybe Double or Nothing goes up, and then I think it's a coin flip. We can talk about that. It's beginning and end. It's Revolution or World's End.
Looking at the two, I think Revolution was a better show than World's End. That's not that World's End was bad. I just think Revolution overall was a better show than World's End. World's End was at times there was stuff that probably could have had a bit more time to like breathe. I think with World's End, and obviously it's hard with like the sort of Continental Classic semis and final being there. But just by the fact that we got those like 3 5-star matches back to back on Revolution.
Yeah,
Because the only match that I would say was over 5 stars on World's End was Mox and Fletcher.
and if you want a 5-star Fletcher match, there's one on Revolution.
Yes. I think even though I think like the Mox Fletcher one was better than the cage match, I think overall the quality of wrestling. I remember watching Revolution and thinking until that main event, fuck me, this is one of the best shows AEW's ever done.
And
Okay,
MJF didn't win.
one of the
Yeah.
best pay-per-views, they are like one of the best pay-per-views, just full stop, in like that I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
But then,
Yeah.
okay, then the question becomes: Is World's End better than Double or Nothing?
No.
I still put Double Nothing over World's End.
I put Double or Nothing over for Anakin the Arena and Hangman Osprey.
Okay, so if we accept, okay, I'll acquiesce to that. So World's End, I loved World's End. Might be recency bias. I really enjoyed it, but I mean, I like all of these. I have no problem with any of them. So if we go all in, Double or Nothing, and Revolution.
No, it was all. Yeah. And
I'm
I
quite
would put all
surprised.
in as a win.
I'm quite surprised no one put it all out. Now I'm thinking about it. That was a pretty good show.
So does All In get the win?
I think
Yarlin.
You all in?
I think so. Just bit like if you the way I'm going to look at this is if you look at the way all 3 shows ended. The
Only one didn't make me upset, and that's all.
well, no, Hangman Osprey at the end was
Yeah,
like the start of Hangman's redemption arc, but just the feeling of the end of All In, that like how good we all felt when he pulled the belt out the briefcase.
Yeah.
I think that has to.
Except for me, who immediately had a crisis over the belt.
Faye had. I was sat like on the couch next to Faye, and Faye was like having an existential crisis.
Like, honestly, they were like, "You're gonna have to unpack this later." I was like, "I can't."
Like, Faye was like having a fucking like crash out, realizing what was happening.
But internal, I wasn't even. Like...
if
Right,
I will
okay.
say, if the Hollywood ending had gone on last, or
Revolution would have stolen it.
yeah, or they'd just done the match on Dynamite on the pay-per-view,
Mhm.
Revolution for me wins. But I think there's something said about it's how you
Or
leave
if someone
them.
if someone would say push Cope down the stairs 20 minutes before the show started.
I think there was something to be said for it's how you leave them. And when people think of Revolution, unfortunately, they do think of the main event. Whereas obviously, All In it's the main event. You know.
I think as well when you compare like the way Revolution the year, and it's not necessarily a fair way to do it, but if you look at the way that Revolution ended the year before,
What with
where
Sting?
it was like Sting's retirement, it was fucking amazing, and then this year it was Mox and Cope and Christian having a bit of a.
It frustrates me to this day that he just didn't put the women on last. It was called the Hollywood ending. Put them on last.
It absolutely should have ended the show, even with the fact that it like had the whole thing with the graphic of the end.
That's how the show should have ended.
And let's face it, the only reason why it didn't was because of the fucking politics of the fact that that was Mariah's last match in AEW.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit. That's how it should have ended.
Yeah, but
Like,
that was with Tony Khan saying about like how the women are definitely going to main event of pay-per-view one day. We just haven't had the right thing. It was like that was the perfect fucking thing.
it was AEW's best fucking story. One of AEW's best fucking stories.
Yeah, any other show as well. Tony and Mercedes probably would have closed if it wasn't for the fact that Mox and Hangman was on there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
sound. So congratulations to AEW All In then, which is show of the year, or the finalists, Double or Nothing, and Revolution.
that's 3 years running All In's one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's the biggest.
It's always the best one.
Bigger is always better.
Yeah,
And it was in Texas, which is the biggest of all time.
it is.
Okay, so if you want some slightly, well, it's still very AW heavy. Breakout Star. We've got nominees are Harley Cameron, Kevin Knight, Marina Shafir, Thekla, Mascara Dorada, and Bear Bronson.
I think this is a really tough one, to be fair.
Well, I actually put Marina Shafir, but now I'm like, but Holly Cameron though.
I've
seen one thing I will.
Ollie's so excited he's frozen.
Ollie's frozen.
Just frozen in time. Oh no.
Give it a
If
second.
Ryan just appears instead of him, it's like, well,
Oh,
Did you try and say something bad about Holly Cameron so she just like appeared behind
No,
her?
what I said is what I've seen a bunch of people have Kyle Fletcher as their breakout star of the year. It's like, no, he broke out last year.
Yeah.
This
He
year
was our breakout star last year.
This year he was the star. He didn't break out last year. He didn't break out in 2025. He broke out in 2024.
I mean, a hill I'm gonna die on this year is that Harley Cameron absolutely should win this because she went from being put in that match with Mercedes at the start of the year and everyone being like, what the fuck's that they doing there, to ending the year as one half of the first women's tag team champions.
I mean, is she the best wrestler on this list? No. But is she the person who's travelled the furthest on this list? I think she might be.
Yeah.
Easily most improved.
Yeah.
In terms of outside of the ring, most fucking talented. And like you go back to that, you go back to that match you mentioned, Jay. People were fucking rooting for Harley to beat Mercedes.
She won the crowd
And
over.
Tony.
Yeah.
And Tony in fucking Australia.
Like,
I'd go as far as to say she's also probably the most over out of everyone on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, just to kind of like, I don't know if Bear Bronson should go breakout star, but just for the repackaging that Bear Bronson's done, from like going from like a comedy wrestler to like a genuinely
it's a very specific category, but if we had a best deathmatch rookie season, then he would win that.
Yeah.
Or best reinvention. Best
reinvention, because now he's like this. Just he's shown up in TNA. He's shown up.
He was in Mystery Wrestling.
He's shown up in Mystery Wrestling. He won the Nick Gage Invitational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
considering like he was in a horrible state earlier in this year when he left AEW because his tag partner was an atrocious piece of trash. So yeah.
Although to be fair, I will say for other just this not a category best reinvention, Ricochet's heel turn.
Yeah.
Can I just say as well, right? I know obviously we're very set on Harley Cameron, but can we just give flowers to Kevin Knight for just being like sort of like Jay White's like kind of like taking his spot almost like in terms of the.
Yeah, I would absolutely say Kevin Knight's like if Harley's like 1A, Kevin Knight's 1B in this situation. Like as far as like someone who, as you say, kind of just come in like as a last minute substitute and just took the ball and ran with it.
So sending them both up then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of everyone else, I mean, I think
I would say Thekla's, like I said, go back to what we said earlier. Thekla's given the women's division like it's not necessarily the main
shot in the arm.
Yeah, and it's like it's not even like to the main event. Like what they have done in terms of like the mid card or the just under the titles. They felt like they've given the women's division more than just we're fighting over the TBS or the world title. There's now life to them. You got the blood and guts match. You've got Thekla versus Jamie Hayter. There's a lot more life to the women's division now.
Yeah,
I want to say one thing in defense of Marina then before we move on with Thekla, if that's where it's going. This is the year I went from being a little bit apprehensive about Marina matches to starting to really enjoy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Marina over Thekla, but that's just me because Thekla kind of disappeared a bit towards the end of the year.
Marina hasn't done anything. Well, I say this thing. Marina's been Moxley's side, which has been great as a manager. Loved her as like essentially his manager. But in terms of matches, she only really started going because she had to fill in for Penelope Ford with Megan Bayne. Like up until that point, was Marina Can you up until that point, can you remember anything else that Marina's done in terms of in the ring this
She's
year?
done stuff in Revolver and stuff like that, but
True.
and she always does fantastic in Bloodsport every year consistently.
I'd say with Marina in AEW, other than the last 2 months, where she's really kind of like shone. Obviously, like pretty much that's from like Blood and Guts onwards. The only thing other than that I could really remember her doing was Anarchy in the Arena, and even then, that's like that's not to dispute as well the fact that like as an on-screen character, like as Mox is heavy, she's been brilliant, and she's just by standing there, kind of like in the same vein that like China used to back in the Attitude Era.
Oh yeah, she's incredible and excellent at what she does.
Yeah, I do think she's had a great year, but I think as far as if we're rating it purely off in ring, that's why I'd probably leave Marina out of the top 3.
Okay, that's fine.
Like if she'd been given an opportunity to actually show herself in the ring earlier in the year, not just filling in Penelope Ford, I'd feel like, and she had that level of consistency that she's been having in these last couple of months. Yeah, you can't really deny it. But
that said, I think she's gonna probably end up having a massive year this year because she's going into a feud with Toni Storm. She's probably going to be given a little bit more license to be a singles wrestler as opposed to being thrown.
Or keep a tag team going with Megan Bain. They were great together.
Well, they have kept that together as well. But I think she might end up.
Have you seen their new finisher, by the way, which is unbelievable?
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm looking forward to that.
So it's Megan F5 someone on top of Marina who hits them with Mother's Milk.
Oh, incredible.
And that's how I want to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, I feel like we've been waiting for Marina like ever since the Death Riders formed, and it hasn't happened. Yeah.
It's like that bit in The Simpsons, isn't it? With the Yakuza, and it's like that guy in the suit hasn't done anything yet, and it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's been like.
Well, I think a lot of it is that Marina is still like, if you think about it, she's been in wrestling for what, like 6 years, something like that, and like in that time she was in WWE and NXT where she was not really used much and injured quite a bit. I think she had a kid as well like during that period, didn't she? So that's like a large period of time where she was unable to actually wrestle. She then went to AEW and
do you know she met Roddy before they were within NXT?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I think he just looked at her and thought, I want that woman to murder me, and then they got married.
Did you see her fucking back after that shot, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Fucking hell, he's a braver man than I am.
Right, so then we're going to have... we're giving this to Harley, right? For the win?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so congratulations then to Harley Cameron, who is Breakout Star of the Year, and also with Kevin Knight and Thekla as finalists, all very well deserved. Okay, next up then we have Best Indie Wrestler, which is nobody who has appeared on an AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, or WWE pay-per-view. And we have Cecil Nix, Bear Bronson, London Lightning, Kevin Nashwatch, Jason Exile, Sapphire Reed, Ian Skinner, or Connor Mills.
This is really tough because
he's gonna make me go to bat for Ian Skinner.
No, absolutely not. I think so. Cecil Nix has had a fantastic year in mystery wrestling, and he's genuinely gone from someone who I thought, who's this guy? Like, I don't get him to at the start of the year to now, like whenever I see him in mystery wrestling, it's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
and he is very much like the kind of like mad scientist who comes up with all the silliest shit in mystery wrestling. I think without him in mystery, they probably wouldn't have had as many like viral moments.
Also, can we give a shout out to Show of the Year of the fucking 24-hour mystery wrestling show?
Well, I think we can talk about that for Match of the Year as well. I think we can put that as a write-in on that.
Okay.
I think that's where we'll talk about that. Mystery wrestling, I don't think the shows, because the shows are normally like, with all due respect to mystery, I love mystery wrestling. We're going to see it live. It's going to be great, but the shows tend to be like one or two really fun matches and then like quite a bit of filler, not filler in such, but not enough.
It's like a typical indie show where there's
Yeah.
like people that you're not normally super familiar with. There'll be the two that like stand out that you go, oh yeah.
But the reason I love Mystery Wrestling is because it keeps that spirit of like not so much the ethos of Chikara, because fuck that, but like the spirit of Chikara, like the sort of the silly wrestling. Obviously Uno wrestled a lot in Chikara, and he's got that sort of background, and that's what he imparts into Mystery Wrestling. And Cecil Nix, I think, is like the next generation sort of taking that on. And like you say, Jay, he's behind a lot of the not the sillier moments, but like you say, the more inventive moments, like the Falls Count Somewhere match, the extremely ruled
Falls
match,
Count Anyone match,
Falls Count Anyone match. Extremely ruled. Yeah.
Even stuff like with Jason XL.
Literal death match as well.
Yeah, and the Pick Your Poison match with Jason XL. He was talking about it on their award show. Like that was all his idea. He basically said there's a guy who's like like one of the jobbers there, and he'll run it past him, and if he hates it, he goes, "All right, that's going to be a good idea."
Yeah. So so the thing about Cecil that I really like is he's a guy who just sits in the back and just goes, "What if we did this?"
Yeah.
And that's what makes wrestling fun and inventive and pushes things forward, as opposed to just doing the same 3 or 4 matches all the time, which is great. I'd like to disqualify Kevin Nashwatch on medical grounds because he tore his quad.
He did tear his quad.
I would also like to disqualify Jason Exile for being too alive.
Yeah, just too alive, just too full of.
He is literally the most alive person on this.
So alive.
I would like. So I'm gonna go to bat for Cecil, but I'm also gonna go to bat for Bear Bronson again, because I think what he's done on the Indies by again reinventing himself as a deathmatch wrestler and really holding his own in that in that style he's been excellent. Like some of the stuff I've seen, and I've not seen I've not seen a lot of his stuff, but from what I've seen, and I'm working my way through it at the moment, he's really impressed me.
Someone talked to me about Sapphire Reed.
Yeah, so this is one that I put on there. So I only watched her because I was watching some of Mercedes Monet's outside of AW title matches that she's been having this year, because Mercedes Monet is killing the business. But one of the matches that she had this year was in Rev Pro against Sapphire Reed. Had a cracking match. Obviously Sapphire didn't win, but it really kind of like, oh shit, I'd never seen this person before. They seem really cool. They're a mainstay on Pro Wrestling Eve. They've had some bangers with the likes of like Nina Samuels, Rainy Leverkusen. So they just
love Rain Leverkusen.
So yeah, so they've had, from what I've seen this year, like
I've seen Sapphire Reed.
Yeah,
we've seen her, Jay. She was at the Red Pro show, but we were too busy trying to keep all the moisture in our bodies to really remember what's going on there. So,
but no, she's had a really strong year in terms of like on the women's independent British scene.
Really
I think she's definitely one to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not going to go back and watch the Red Pro match, it's really fun. And then she's just a mainstay in Eve, and it's been really cool. Kind of, especially also like just shout out to the rise of fucking Eve in the last year or so.
Yeah,
like really been putting on some bangers down in London.
Sorry, you mean Will Ospreay's Pro Wrestling Eve?
Yeah.
Man, the dude's turning out for the women's scene in the UK. Like they've been putting on some classics down there.
So me and Sarah have got tickets to go and see their show on International Women's Day in March.
Wrestle Queendom.
Yeah, because we're in London, as it just so happens, on that day. And yeah, they've just announced that Holly Cameron's going to be there, which is
incredible.
And Jamie Hayter.
And Jamie Hayter, yeah.
And Chris Statlander. It's
AEW's evolution, basically.
Well, there's a
evolution.
there's a couple of Stardom women on there at the moment as well, isn't there? And Ozumi got announced the other day, which I was like, oh.
Anyone got anything for Connor Mills?
Oh, he's fucking amazing.
He's
so good.
Would you make an argument that he could be the best British wrestler or the best British-based wrestler? I mean, Michael Oku's right there.
Yeah, but
Michael Oku appeared on
Connor Mills
on an AEW pay-per-view though.
Yeah, Michael Oku and Connor Mills had a match on TNT as like they're like fucking. It was a surprise match. It wasn't on the card, and I lost my shit. It was so fucking good, and then Nico and Connor Mills have a tag team together in Pro Wrestling Ceasefire, and they had an amazing match. A Pro Wrestling Ceasefire this year.
They're the Progress Tag Champs at the moment as well.
Oh, are they? Love that. But now Ian Skinner and Connor Mills are both my nominations, and I have to go with Ian Skinner over this because Ian Skinner has had a fucking wild year this year.
And also, Joe has Ian Skinner facts. So
Yeah, Ian Skinner fact. But Ian Skinner's gone from being like this really fucking amazing like wrestler and his gimmicks, like, oh yeah, he's really cool, he's got lots of friends, and like he's
See the
an
Diet Coke guy?
arsehole. Yeah. To being a fucking deathmatch wrestler.
has he?
He had a death match with Alton Thorne in fucking Scotland.
What?
He's like, yeah, like he's been doing death matches this year and everything. I'm like, this is insane.
He's definitely seen Steen in a death match and gone,
It
oh, there's a
happened
marker for
literally
that.
2 weeks after.
There's a marker for this.
And I also got to see him in a wedding match this year, which was fucking delightful. And he was not really a wrestling moment, but before the bride and groom went to the buffet, he was already at the buffet in a scream mask before it was even open, in a big fairy coat, and we were just like, oh my fucking god. It was great. But anyway, he is unbelievable. The year that he's had has been so good. And I
will
think
say,
he's one of the best wrestlers in Brit Wrestling at the minute.
I will say Ian Skinner did like a tweet I put out the other day saying fuck Nigel Farage just out the blue. So
Well, now you're talking my language.
for that alone, I can get behind that.
So, Jay, we've talked about Cecil Nix. What about his short-lived ass blasters tag partner, London Lightning?
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Future London Lightning.
Hashtag ass blasters forever.
London's had an okay year. I don't think he's had his best year. I think
Wasn't as good as last year.
Yeah, I think he did a bit more in mystery last year because he did the whole storyline of like being like losing the loser leaves town match. He did go and get a load of jobs though. He was a cop for a bit and he worked in a Home Depot. Got fired from both. But yeah, he's very entertaining.
That like one segment where he lost the loser leaves mystery wrestling match, and he just went outside and someone just gave him a lift.
He went into Tim Hortons in his gear and got asked to leave.
And then it's a random person just gave him a lift in his car.
Yeah,
like that at the end of the Incredible Hulk episodes, where he like just hitchhikes on the road.
He just walks down the road like the end of the Street Fighter animated film.
He also found a copy of Death Note on the pavement, and that wasn't planned. And he freaked out a little bit because he's like, "Oh God, am I going to die?"
That's brilliant.
But yeah, he's been really good. I think he's someone again we're probably going to be talking about more this year because I think he's primed to have a pretty big year this year.
I'm really torn here, like Kevin Nash versus Quad, because I want to put 4 up and there's only 3 spaces.
Someone that I didn't put down but kind of wants to, but they've done work with New Japan this year, so couldn't, is Saya Kamitani. Fucking Jesus Christ, she is like her. I want to see her entrance live. Like her entrance is the most final boss entrance I think that currently exists today in wrestling. It's insane if you've not seen it.
It's like, very good.
The Black Phoenix is incredible. But yeah, she's done work with New Japan this year, but she's stellar fucking 2025 for her.
Yeah, I absolutely.
Right, so if Cecil goes up, I think that's an easy call.
Yeah,
in a perfect world, I put up Cecil, Sapphire, Bronson, and Skinner.
Yeah, I was going to say
we can only do 3. So who misses out?
I think Ian can miss out over Sapphire with the year that Sapphire's out.
I was going to say out of the 4, I'd say Ian because Cecil's just been brilliant creatively. Bronson's been brilliant in the whole reinvention. I know Ian's done that a little bit as well, but just by like obviously the
wait, is Ian Skinner the British Bronson? Bear Bronson?
Yeah, but he also wears cunty coats.
He does dress extremely cunty. That was the other reason why I wanted them to go up there.
Yeah. He wouldn't tell me where he got his coats from, and then I found out. And then he was fuming.
He also shouted at Joe when Joe told him he did Ian Skinner facts, which made me laugh.
When I saw him at Infamous this year as well, he had a match with Alton Thorne, and Alton Thorne made him eat nettles in front of a load of kids. It was fucking great.
Okay, and then Cecil for win.
Yeah.
Not okay with that?
Yeah.
Because a vote for Cecil is a vote for Mystery Wrestling, and that makes me your friend.
Yeah.
Are you a cool guy with lots of friends? Though, or is he just-
Cecil, because he's the only one who won a match by punching a child.
I mean, you can't argue with that, can you?
That's my fucking criteria for winning that.
Right, we'll move on then to LGBTQ plus Wrestler of the Year, aka the Effie Award.
Yeah, that's what we should rename that. So then Effie never has to be nominated again.
Who's changed Tony Storm to Tony Storm / the AEW Women's Division?
That would be because of the I would say rampant lesbianism that's raged in the AEW Women's Division this
I
year.
mean, the AEW Women's Division is just the WW fan fiction awards, basically. Like that, it's incredible. Love it all.
When I was trying to explain that to Jen, who has only got into wrestling the last couple of months, she was like, "Why is the women's division so gay?" I was like, "Oh, it's just super gay. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't ask any more questions. They just let them do it."
Come the wins. That's all I'm gonna say.
It is the best.
You know
It's incredible to watch.
You know that meme that's going around where it's like, "Mum, I'm gay," and it's like, "Oh, and you didn't join that," and then it's like the wrestling
hope
division
you
that makes you gay.
didn't.
And it's like, oh shit, no, I did.
It's those women's wrestlers.
Yeah, so Tony Storm has had a not catastrophic if you're a gammon effect on the AEW Women's Division. In that, every major story point now seems to revolve around kissing women. Which
I feel like
if you're like married and like curious, it's like, catastrophic for your husbands.
The year started off with heartbreak between Mariah May and Tony Storm, and then it's just gone from there into wonderful, delightful, silly, queer nonsense, and I love it. I absolutely fucking love it.
And it's not a comedy either.
No,
it's not like that's Marina's wife. That's Tony's wife.
Yeah.
Marina is Tony's wife.
Are you saying Roddy Strong's Marina's wife?
Yeah, obviously.
I think Roddy Strong would say he's Marina's wife, to be fair.
Roddy Strong is Marina's wife. What are you saying?
So,
he's saying that he's the husband.
I'll run down the nominees real quick. So we've got Tony Storm and the entire AEW Women's Division, Mike Bailey, Bear Bronson, Adam Bolt, Anthony Bowens, Venny, Aitenstein, and Effie is also here.
Effie's cancelled out because it's the Effie Award.
So I'm gonna take Effie off, but in honor of his achievements, I'm gonna put in brackets. I'm gonna call this the Effie Award.
I love the face, just cancelled Effie.
Yeah.
Because as we discussed
Don't
with him,
put that as the podcast caption, please.
that is going
cancels
in the
Effie.
notes.
As we
cancels Effie.
As we discussed with him when me and Jay interviewed him for the Untitled Wrestling podcast exclusively, he is the president of gay wrestling.
You did say that, yeah. Yeah.
If you say it enough, Spotify will pick it up and make it.
Except he never told anybody to storm a government building.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of.
He didn't. Not yet.
No, he just took a couple of shots at Sadiq Khan. It's fine. Oh, sorry, Shad Khan. It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's Zack Sabre Jr.
He also told us that John Moxley's one of the few men his husband will let him kiss on the lips.
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
Minoru Suzuki being the other one.
Yeah.
And he said both tasted like cigarettes.
Yeah, but he had to ask John, was everything okay in his marriage?
Did he tell everybody the story about when Suzuki kissed him, or was it just me and you before the show?
It was just you and
I thought it was the Mox one that he told us like before the show, and then Suzuki told everyone
when he went out to see Suzuki, and because apparently Suzuki just turns up to a show, stands outside and chain smokes, and then goes inside and wrestles.
It's the dream.
He'd be right at home at a TNT show.
Yeah, he literally walked up to Effie, like Effie went out to the smoking room, and Suzuki just walked up to him like still smoking. It was like, me, you, we kiss, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Oh, good old Mary the Granddad.
Right, moving on. Let's talk. I want to talk very briefly because I'll take him off. I'll just put him on, but I'll take him off about Adam Bolt because he.
Fuck yeah!
I saw him at a Big Gay Brunch in Liverpool, and he was fantastic. His entrance music is so good that Sarah's put it on like her
it's in a regular rotation.
Yeah, it's in the rotation. It's great. He's a lovely fellow. He's from Doncaster,
He's
so
nice.
He deserves some props just for living and existing out of Doncaster. Yeah,
he's very good.
He had a fantastic show in a Big Gay Brunch. He won his first match, and then he went into the scramble and won that as well.
Yeah, that was a great scramble.
Yeah, and yeah, I can only assume, given TNT's strong track record for booking LGBTQ plus wrestlers, that he went on to win several major titles for the rest of the year. I'm just going to assume that's what happened.
He did have a banging match with Shea Monet earlier in the year. as
Yeah.
well.
But yeah, I really like Adam Bolt. I think he's kind of he's got big things ahead of him. To top it all off, he's fucking great in the ring as well. He's really good.
He wants to come on our podcast as well.
Yes,
Oh,
so and we're not biased at all to say that he's really good.
Well, Adam Bolt will put you in the top 3 if you come on our podcast.
Anthony Bowen's kind of. I don't know if this just was it meant to happen or did it just flounder naturally and then they've sort of leaned into the skid.
I've enjoyed what they've been doing towards the end of the year with them, like the absolute meltdown he's been having with
Max Caster.
I just forgot his name then. Why like Max getting over with his gimmick.
Yeah.
We nearly saw a scissoring in Cardiff, but Bowman's walked off because he's a bastard man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been weird with Bowens because obviously like the reason I put him down is just because obviously what he does outside the ring. He
is a phenomenal ambassador for LGBTQ
Yeah.
wrestling and for AEW in general and for wrestling in general. Yeah, he walks red carpets. His partner is like into acting. I mean, but I think my problem with Bowens is he's so far removed from what I would call like the height of his powers. Really,
yeah. It baffles me how he didn't like. As a top babyface, just hit the ground running. I remember when
I think it's because no one really gives a fuck about what a 5-tool player is.
Yeah, I think they literally just had to. They could have binned off the 5-tool player thing and just called him the Pride of Pro Wrestling. I think.
I love making the Pride of Pro Wrestling a heel gimmick. I'm all fucking for.
I do like that.
I love his theme song. It's so fucking arrogant. Like I'm all fucking for it. Like it could be so good, and I want that for him. Like I really do because I love when they were doing the Acclaimed. I love Anthony Bowens. The guy's got it. Like he looks great. He's got great charisma, and there is a star there, and I'd love it. I'd love it to happen for him next year.
Yeah.
What's Venny been up to this year? Talking about Venny.
They have had a cracking year this year. I've made a bunch of shit about it. Where is it? I've lost it. So they've been over. Obviously, they've had a match with Kid Bandit over in 0-1 this year. Also, shout out to Kid Bandit as well. I've kind of been following them for a while on social media, and their insane flippy shit is incredible. Done a bunch of stuff with the Sendai Girls Tag Team Championships. They're just I've loved Venny for quite a while. They really, I don't know. They've just I've loved watching their story, seeing them kind of like grow and become such a major force in Japanese women's pro wrestling. And they did an article back in 2024, I think, in the New York Times, and I don't think I've cried and like so much reading something like that when it just comes to talking about their history and growing up and kind of discovering themselves, and it's just I love it.
Will say not had much chance to really keep on top of what Venny's done in the last few years. Really enjoyed them in the women's Japanese women's tournament. Me and Jay watched that all when it was on a few years ago. I really enjoyed them in that.
She did wrestle Brazil this year.
She was also in Pro Wrestling Eve against Sapphire Reed this year as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And Melissa Fierce.
Nice
as well.
Bear Bronson. I mean, we just talked about the year he's had.
He's had a good year, and he came out as bisexual at the start of the year, I believe.
Yeah.
Can we throw in if we're doing big comings out? Can we throw in Scotty Rourke as well?
Oh my god! Yes.
Scotty Rourke came out live in a wrestling show.
Oh my god!
It was the best thing ever.
Because the last time we saw him, he was there with his girlfriend, and now he was there with his former girlfriend's best friend, who's now his boyfriend.
And now his girlfriend is his best friend.
Yeah.
It's so lovely.
He flip reversed it like Blazing Squad.
Yeah, and honestly,
that's probably offensive to so many people, and I do apologise that I have equated a tender coming out with Blazing Squad. I do apologise.
With Scotty Rourke as well, but Scotty Rourke's had a hell of a year this year. Last year,
Scotty Rourke's great.
Yeah, I fucking love him.
What One of my favorite things, like interviews we've done on the podcast, was when we did that like backstage
He
thing
just
with him.
kept eating Rice Krispie squares.
He wouldn't stop eating his Rice Krispie squares. He just stood there eating them while I was interviewing him. Had a lovely time.
I also want to shout out Aiton Steen just because he wore so many cunty outfits at Big Gay Brunch that I nearly killed Joe by sending him pictures of him.
and they canonically are a vampire now because they've been drinking blood all year.
Yeah.
Oh.
When they just came out when they just came out in the bills, and I was like, Joe, have a look at this, mate, and he was like, oh my god.
Remember when I think it was a Big Gay Brunch we were talking to Aiton Steen, and he was like saying to me and you, Faye, next year I'm going to become the deathmatch twink, and he wasn't fucking lying. No,
he wasn't, and that's literally like, honestly, it was the best, and now it's his whole gimmick. He comes out with a shot glass.
Yeah.
He has a Lost Boys themed vampire shirt that you can't get anymore, that I have.
He also comes out to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer theme, so I think that's an automatic.
It's perfect. I think Aiton Steen just wins it, but that's just me because it was a win for the Goths.
I would absolutely have Aiton Steen in the top 3. I'd put him up. Absolutely.
Yeah, Matthew's also supporting that.
Yeah, that's a neck for both.
Matthew's at Big Gay Brunch. He really enjoyed that this year.
Are we all okay for Aiton Steen to go up?
Yeah.
Good to that.
How do we feel about? So I'd say not Bowens, not Bolt, not Scotty, just because reasons. Mike Bailey, Bear Bronson. Anyone got any strong feelings there?
Mike Bailey's had a hell of a run this year.
Bailey's had both have had really good years.
Yeah,
it's tough though because like I a straight white man. I'm not here to police what makes LGBTQ plus wrestler of the year. But are we voting for the best wrestler who happens to be LGBTQ plus, or are we voting for the best wrestler
representation
or who did things that were LGBTQ plus? I don't even know what that really means.
No, but I get it because in an ideal world,
but I don't want to. Again, I a straight white man do not want to turn around to anyone and say you don't win because you're not gay enough.
But this is the thing, like, it's like what Effie says about the Big Gay Brunches, like, they shouldn't have to happen.
Yeah.
You should just be a wrestler and it shouldn't matter.
Like, and you go back to the Tony Storm and what's been going on in the women's division, they just present it as this is it is. Like, and there's no, and that's how, like I said, that's how it should be. But it's also such amazing representation and such the characters that they have and the storylines that they've crafted over the course of this year around Tony Storm and everyone that she gets involved with.
Yeah, they're all romance storylines, like.
But they are in a way, like it's all like falls under like it could be like if it was as a book, yes, it'd fall under fucking romantasy, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a comedy romance. It's like, no, they're romantically involved. Yeah. That's the thing. It's not.
But to go back to Mike Bailey, like you've got Mike Bailey on TV as,
and he's very open about his gender and his
like the fact they're non-binary. It's just something that they brought up occasionally on commentary. You know, you see they them in the graphic bars, but. I don't know. You can't ignore the year they've had.
Yeah. I think Mike Bailey goes up.
All I'm saying is if Mike Bailey came out with a man and a woman, kissed them both, and then sprayed whipped cream all over his chest, they'd probably be an easy winner.
They would win, absolutely.
I would say that Tony should go up based on this is a very specific thing, but just because I remember the reaction to it of the promo she did on the balcony where she said, "I'm here, I'm queer."
Yeah.
And the amount of people who I know who aren't wrestling fans who saw that and it really gave them an interest in wrestling, and it's
like the whole Anthony Bowen's "I'm gay" speech. It's that moment,
so
isn't it?
That remains one of the greatest. I mean, I know we were talking about. I think this is what won him that award maybe a year or two ago when
it was
when a crowd when Holly Cameron was in the ring as well. Weirdly, when a wrestling crowd chanted "He's gay" at a wrestler, and it was a positive thing.
Yeah.
Which was just simply it is a you know that the Paul Rudd meme. Look at us now.
Yeah.
I think Tony goes up.
For a major wrestling company to be so fucking queer is like
I mean-
it's
Written by the girls for the girls.
like
Like it's written by
if
Tumblr.
we were being on brand, I'd argue that Tony probably preferred to go down. But
Hey,
hey,
you don't know.
so then it's one out of Bailey, Bronson, Bowens, Venny. Do we throw Venny in there? I would throw Venny in there as the chaos, not the chaos pick. Just sounds like they've had a phenomenal year. Sounds like like you said, Ollie, they definitely represent.
they've definitely like the story. Like go back to the article where they kind of talk about having to. They tried to keep quiet because they didn't want to upset like the Japanese pro wrestling scene.
When did
they
that
I was
article come
just
out?
about to say that's so
New York-
brave.
New York Times 2024.
Oh, if it was this year, it would have been a slam dunk, and I'd have been
Yeah.
like, "Yep."
But yeah, it was a. If you can still find it, it's a brilliant read to go read. And
I'll dig it up. Yeah.
It's a cracking
down.
read.
And again, like culturally, I think what's the boundaries like they're having to break down in Japan are probably even more
It's
significant.
fetishized in Japan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Akira as well, the American wrestler.
oh yes.
Has had a
That's
banging
my
year as well
boy.
this year.
That's my favorite boy, and has been
Yeah.
for like fucking years.
I hope we see more of Akira. I'd love
Yeah.
to see him get picked up by AEW.
I know he
Sign him,
took
sign him.
some time off with all the Masha stuff, didn't he? And sort
Yeah.
of,
But
which
I
is a
think
shame. But
They
hopefully
stream on Twitch though, and it's
Oh,
fucking
nice.
great. Like, and every time someone's follow, he gives his dog a treat.
yeah, but
Nice,
in terms of
yeah.
like pushing it forward, like Venny and Akira are just
Yeah,
Okay, fuck it. I want to give Venny. We're going to
Yeah.
put Venny up.
I'm
Yeah.
down with that.
And
I'm
then,
up for putting Bear Bronson on there as well. Like it's from the sounds of things. I haven't
You know
seen a
what?
lot of Bear Bronson this year, but I'm definitely more interested to go back and watch a shit ton of their stuff.
you know what? Fuck it. We're doing 4 because
There was with Bear Bronson. There was just that match with Matt Tremont where they were sat in chairs drinking beer and like hitting each other with the cans, and it was like, yeah, this is fucking cool.
so winner Tony
yeah.
probably.
I think
And
so.
the entire AEW women's division, just because again, as you said, Jay, just because of the impact that moment had, and like the sort of not legitimacy, but like almost legitimacy, almost like the sort of like you said that she's handled the whole topic of sexuality in a mature way that you don't tend to see, especially in wrestling
Yeah.
and especially on American television.
And
You would
more
not
importantly,
get
it upset all the people that you'd want it to upset.
Yeah.
the.
It's a really
you would
easy way
not
to
get
thin out your followers.
you would not get the year in women's wrestling that AEW had like 10 fucking years ago. Like it
No.
would be taken the piss out of. It would have been jokes. It would have been comparable to Orlando Jordan in TNA. Like no, this has been the most fun I've had kind of like watching wrestling in like the last year or so is the stuff that they've been doing in the women's division, just because it's making the women's division its own character. They're telling their own stories, not just stories they've told in the men's division repackaged slightly. You know what I mean? Like
Right, okay then. So congratulations to Tony Storm and the entire WWE division as LGBTQ plus Wrestler of the Year, for the finalists being Bear Bronson, Venny, and Aidenstein, because we're breaking the rules here, because that's what it's all about. Cool. Next up then, we have Feud of the Year. So Hangman versus Mox, Mariah May versus Tony Storm, Hangman versus MJF, Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher, Hangman versus Ospreay / the
Nice.
Owen Hart,
I
and
feel like
the Young Bucks versus AEW.
Hangman's has just been Hangman versus his own sense of fucking self at this point. You know what I mean? Like it's like Hangman versus his own conscience and his actions.
we'll get
Yeah.
onto the rise of Hangman later. Trust me.
I think there's two easy sends here, and that's Hangman versus Mox and Mariah May versus Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh,
I beg to differ with Hangman versus Mox.
What?
what?
Yeah. So, only because,
Say you're working out.
right. Only because it was literally from Double or Nothing to All In.
I'm gonna argue that it's been since
No.
the beginning of
No.
fucking time.
No. But hear me out here. So they did the bit where they teased that Hangman was going to help Christian cash in. Then he did fuck all because he had the whole thing with MJF.
Ugh.
Then they did the Owen where he
Yeah,
had the sort of
spoiler
redemption.
that ain't going up. Hang
No.
the MJF. That ain't going up.
I'd say the first half of it was worth it, but anyway, they did the whole Owen Hart thing, and then they did like the Mox thing. A lot of it felt kind of forced at times, I thought, because it was just he's won a tournament, and that's why he's the guy who's going to save the company. Not that it didn't feel earned, but it felt like.
See, if everybody was as insane like me, they'd have been saying it for ages, and no one listens. And then it fucking happened.
Well,
Hangman versus Mox has been the story of AEW versus the Death Riders. So if you wanted, like, you could argue that AEW versus the Death Riders should be
that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Like, and also, Faye, and you know my opinion on this. It was definitely going to be Jay White before it was Hangman. Before Jay White got hurt, it was 100% going to be Jay White.
Okay, so hear me out. So we're not hearing any. We're not getting any pushback on Mariah. Right, but before we do Mariah and Tony, how much of that actually happened this year?
You had everything up to Revolution, basically this year.
Tony the Throner, and then
the Grand Slam Australia.
So early on in the
Grand Slam Australia into Revolution.
All right, okay, that's probably enough.
I'd say 3 months of build for that. Yeah.
Like, and yes, it did technically, like, obviously it started fucking 18 months prior when Mariah May joined, but like the bulk of it was kind of end of 2024 into 2025.
And I'm also inclined to put this up because, as well as it being fantastic with these two women, it was also RJ City's magnum opus.
Yeah, and he deserves that.
Yeah. Briscoe Fletcher.
I would die on the hill. This feud's been my favourite all year.
It was a proper good upper mid card feud, wasn't it? It was just like.
The thing is, as well, a good feud has both guys coming out feeling like bigger deals. Kyle Fletcher feels like he's primed for that world title next year, or this year, sorry. Mark Briscoe, like, he felt like he was always the naily man, and then he finally got this big moment of winning the TNT title.
Yeah, it has weirdly elevated both guys, which is rare these days, and it's good that that's happened.
And it started in the C2 last, like, 2024. And it's carried on through the year. Like, they kept revisiting this match throughout the year.
Yeah.
And then when it to the point that when Kyle finally had a prize for Mark to take, Mark was like, right, I have to take that off him. And I think.
And some of the matches were great as well. Like, pretty much all of the matches were great.
That no holds barred match that, like, Mark won the belt and was incredible. There was
it was unbelievable, wasn't it?
There was one that was on, like, it was either Collision or Dynamite, where Briscoe just won, and it was, like, really surprising that he won. And I was like, the fuck? Where did that come from? But I think a lot of, like, Kyle Fletcher, we're going to be talking about him in the argument for men's wrestler of the year later, but I think a lot of that is owed to this feud.
Okay, I'm going to try and speed along because I've got to get a bit of a clip on it because we are taking some time here. How would we feel about Mariah and Tony, Briscoe and Fletcher, and Young Bucks versus AW?
Yeah,
I'd be down with that.
I'd be up for I'd argue it's the Death Riders versus AEW, and it's Dynasty through to All In. So it starts with Swerve, finishes at All In.
Yeah, okay, I'm willing to change that.
I'd be okay with that because the Young Bucks versus AEW kind of like bled into
falls in that.
Yeah, because the Young Bucks kind of changed sides. Right, okay, so we'll have Mariah versus Tony, Briscoe versus Fletcher, and the Death Riders versus AEW. What do we want to put as the winner?
Death Riders versus AEW.
Yeah, that's a build.
I'd be okay with that.
Magic. Right, so this should be a slam dunk. Best commentator. We have... Oh, sorry, just to recap. So we have the winner of Death Riders versus AEW for Best Feud. Then we also have finalists Mark Briscoe versus Cal Fletcher and Mariah May versus Tony Storm. Congratulations. Best commentator. We have Ian Riccaboni, Nigel McGuinness, Brian Danielson, Excalibur, Don Callis, and Tony Storm. Literally everybody who sat on an AEW commentary table.
Except for John Moxley.
Except for John Moxley and Tony Schiavone.
McGuinness goes through and Danielson goes through, I think.
Danielson has been such a shot in the arm for that. Like, I've always loved AEW's commentary team, but fuck me, the addition of Danielson has been incredible.
I'd go as far as say Danielson wins it.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah, you'd have no argument for me there.
And I'd say, as much as I love Excalibur, Ian Riccaboni is always a treat.
We got to go to the Riccaboni zone.
Can it be the Riccaboni Award? Can we rename it?
You know who I'm actually kind of regret not nominating, but it's too late now. Walker Stewart.
Nyla Rose.
He's been. Oh no, Walker Stewart. He's just been brilliant.
Right.
In New
Hear me
Japan.
out. Hear me out. Do we take Riccaboni out, make it the Riccaboni Award, and put
Yeah.
Tony Storm in there?
I mean, Tony Storm has been cracking whenever she gets a chance.
Yeah.
Because that would be
Yeah.
really fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And Ian, we love you, but you're getting immortalised.
Ian won the last like 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
It's like the way Effie won
the
not the last
LGBTQ.
couple, but he won a
And
couple
then
on the
somewhere
bounce
down,
because
somewhere
Ryan.
down the line, can we give, when it is the Ian Riccaboni Award and we're famous, can we give an ironic one to Kevin Kelly?
No.
Is that for worst commentator?
Can we give the Kevin Kelly Award to Chris Charlton? Like, is that what we're gonna do?
Well, for slamming AEW on Mike.
God.
And Brian's winning, because obviously
But
Brian's...
Brian's been incredible this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. To just effortlessly slip into that role, he's been, and he's just held everything together so well. I mean, Nigel's
I do just
fantastic.
want Mox on comms.
I love the notion now that Nigel and Danielson are like just colour
The best.
commentating on different shows in AEW.
But they're also the
They-
best colour commentators going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Like-
Okay, moving on. So, congratulations to Brian Danielson, who wins the Ian Riccaboni Award for Best Commentator, with runners-up Nigel McGuinness and Tony Storm. Okay, next up then, Best Entrance, either individual show or in general. I think these are all... Oh, no, they're not quite. They're almost all specific. So we have the Bucks both entrance, which...
That was good.
Mercedes Monet. So I put this one on, and I couldn't remember if it was the Owen final or it was All In. It was the one where she had the robe with everyone she'd beaten on it.
That was all.
Yeah, and that was fantastic. I loved that. She felt like you want to talk about a final boss entrance. That felt like a final boss entrance.
Mhm.
The Timeless Love Bombs, Hangman at All In, Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door, Will Ospreay at Double or Nothing, and Kenny Omega at All In. I'm going to need some details off some people because I've forgotten nearly all of these.
So the 2 Osprey ones were the Forbidden Door one was obviously the one with Alex Winder doing the video package
was lovely,
beforehand.
Oh, that
Which made me cry.
That made me actually cry in real life
I'm
in the arena.
vetoing it because it's got Alex Windsor on, and that gives me PTSD. But
She didn't say Windsor.
no.
She wasn't a Pokemon. She wasn't a
No,
Pokemon.
listen. You all made your bed when you kept shouting at me at Forbidden Door and ruined that moment for me. So I am fucking veto power in that bad boy.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know.
The-
That was probably the most emotional entrance I think we've had all year.
The other one,
No, it
which is
wasn't.
also Osprey at Double or Nothing, is where this is technically both Osprey and Hangman because they both got video packages before the entrance, which but it was Osprey's that stood out to me more because Osprey's is the one where they go through the lines of his promo, which ends in this isn't about your retribution, this is about my ascension, and the fucking chills that comes out after
Your redemption.
this isn't your redemption, this is my ascension. That line, oh my god, like it was just perfect going into what they were going into.
Okay, Hangman All In.
It was him coming out to thingy Ghost Town Triumph for the first
Yeah.
time in like
Yeah.
9 months. It was the old Hangman coming back.
And it was the
And
whistle. Did it have the whistle?
Yeah,
one on
it was.
as well?
It was
Yeah.
the fact that we were all sat there, speechless, realizing what was
Yeah.
going on.
At that point, did you believe?
And Nat cried
Yeah.
so many tears.
Yeah,
Nat was in bits.
that was the real most emotional entrance of the year. Because it was again. While I felt like the build up to Mox and Hangman up until that point didn't really feel earned, the actual Hangman coming out to that and the old
and he
Hangman
came
coming
out the face tunnel.
Yeah, and he came out. He shaved his beard down to like 5
Yeah.
o'clock shadow. And
When the camera goes to the heel entrance and he's not there, and
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
get over.
Oh.
it was just amazingly produced as well.
Oh.
Yeah, it for me it was one of the things that made that match so brilliant, was because from the get go you were invested because of that.
Yeah.
And
Okay, Kenny All In.
He had the orchestra, the guy singing his theme.
It's just like,
Final
hang on,
Fantasy-
how-
Final Fantasy-
how can we make this more Final Fantasy?
Yeah,
Literally the fucking composer and singer for Final Fantasy 14.
yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah, I do remember that now. I think I feel really bad for the Timeless Love Bombs because I feel like
that
this is
That
It's been
dance, that dance number's so good though.
but I feel like it's been kind of sent out to die here against all these like really special emotional entrances.
An honourable mention as well is just Hangman's
Yeah.
at full gear when he comes out to the Red Dead Redemption 2 music.
Yeah.
Because me being a fucking I love the Red Dead Redemption games. When he came out to that music, I literally went, "Oh no!" Like I know what that song's tied. I don't want to spoil Red Dead Redemption 2, but I know what that song's tied to in the game. And as soon as that came out, I'm like, "Oh no, my boy might lose. He might lose this."
I was filled with dread when he came out to that. I was like, "Oh boy, oh no, oh no."
I loved it, but also,
also
PTSD.
because I've only just remembered it now from seeing the Bucks boat entrance. Swerve's entrance at All In when he came out to Ain't Nobody and he had the Fireflies.
Oh my god!
Yes. How can I forget
Bray's wife.
Bray's widow was singing it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was so cool.
So what
Not
are we
giving
leaning
some
towards?
bangers this year.
Yeah, and let's not forget Swerve's Green Lantern entrance as well from literally the other week.
Yeah, that was great. Swerve's just great, isn't he?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Swerve on these awards, but I know he missed a bit of time, but he deserves.
He will get so many. He will get talked about in a later. Trust me.
for Swerve though, I think he's had, for him anyway, a relatively like reserved year. Like
it's
he's
still been amazing.
When you look at his 2024 compared to this year, like or 2025, it's been quite a quiet year for Swerve. Not that he's not done
I'd
tons,
like to put the Bucks both entrance up just for the sheer spectacle and grandeur of it, because it was just silly and extravagant, and like it was the logical like conclusion to the Bucks like runaway ego characters.
I don't think that translates as well in person though.
I think it was good, but I don't think it was. I think there was better entrances on.
I think it works because of the moment that happens afterwards.
Yeah.
But as an entrance itself, probably not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die on the hill that Hangman's at All In should probably win this for me.
I'm happy to put it up.
I think for out of all the entrances there, for the pure emotion that I felt when that happened, nothing has come close for an entrance this year than that.
I think we have to pick one. I think we have to pick one of the Osprey ones, and I'd be inclined to say Forbidden Door because it made me an actual cry.
I'd say the Double or Nothing one because of the promo. Because it felt like, so the thing with that Double or Nothing match was it's one of the only times all year where I've struggled to kind of like pick a winner, and it was because of that promo. And then for them to kind of lean into that for the entrance as well, it really did hammer home that whoever's winning this is basically dethroning Mox. But
okay, then do we put both of those Osprey ones up?
I wouldn't put both.
I would say Mercedes All In over one of the Osprey ones.
I think I love the Forbidden Door one, but that's only because we knew that was going to be Osprey's last match for a while, which is why the Windsor promo hit a lot harder, because it's like, oh fuck, our boy's going away for a long time.
Yeah, because he said he's not medically cleared, wasn't it? It was like that thing, like it lights out. So like,
whereas the Double or Nothing one was pure hype and just it made you ready for that match. Go back to you said, Jay, you did not know who was winning that one.
I think with the Double or Nothing one as well, the same way the Hangman's at All In added to that match, because it instantly made you feel something. This was the same, where it instantly made you feel something going into that match.
We've got Mercedes at All In, we've got Hangman at All In, and we've got Will Ospreay at Double or Nothing. Who would you have as the winner? I could buy Hangman.
Hangman, it's got to be.
Yeah, it was like you say, Jay. It was all the little details. Hangman's always been about the details, and he does them so well, doesn't he?
It was so well produced, and it was the culmination of 2 years of Hangman wallowing to finally accepting that he is the good guy again. He
told you, it's Hangman's versus self-conscience.
Right. So that's best entrance is Hangman Page at All In, with runners-up being Will Ospreay at Double or Nothing and Mercedes Moné at All In. Fantastic. Next up, unsung hero, someone who we think has had a good year but wouldn't necessarily qualify as rest of the year. So we've got Mark Briscoe, Hechicero, Roderick Strong, Samoa Joe, Marina Shafir, Willow Nightingale, Ricochet, Wheeler Uther, Swerve Strickland, or Bear Bronson.
Out of all them, it's just Ricochet. It is, isn't it?
I mean, I'm going to put Ricochet straight up there because I think
yeah, Ricochet and Mark Briscoe, the two I'd put straight up there.
Ricochet has reinvented himself like no other this year.
Ricochet, I went not really caring about him when he was a face, but I was like kind of a little bit apathetic towards him, where I was like, I hope he's not just going to come in and like just do the like play the hit sort of thing. And then the second that he turned heel on Swerve with the scissors, I was like, oh no, like he's fucking got it.
To go from someone who we were like, he's friends with Andrew Tate at the beginning of the year, to being like, oh, he's fucking great. Like, what a
yeah. So I put Ricochet and Briscoe up. I'd say both of them because, as you say, they're both like they're sort of the yin and yang of like the mid card, the upper mid card, aren't they? Like the top babies, the top mid card babyface, the top mid card heel, like upper mid card heel and babyface, and they're like the respective gatekeepers for like anyone rising up through the card, which is really cool, and they've done that job tirelessly, and they've both been rewarded with titles, which has been great.
Yeah.
Can we make this the Eddie Kingston Award, by the way? I feel like, yeah.
You know who's a glaring omission from this? Looking at who we've got nominated, Kyle O'Reilly.
Well, we've got his conglomeration stablemate Roderick Strong.
I think as well, Kyle again only really had the latter half of the year, whereas some of these had a lot more throughout the year.
He had that really solid 3-month period, didn't he?
I think we could possibly disqualify Joe because I don't think you could be the unsung hero if you've been world champion.
But he was a brilliant. He did what Joe does best. Like he gives it. Like he can put him straight to the main event.
But he has won the world championship.
Yeah. To be
That's
fair,
not really unsung if you're world champion.
To be fair with Joe, I can see why he's unsung because he won the world title, but also no one expected him to win that world title.
Can I propose a sub in for Joe?
Is it Chivata? Oh, I'd be okay with that. I mean, I want to.
Claudio is the definition of an unsung hero in wrestling in general.
I was going to say Hechicero because
he's on the list, isn't he?
No, even though he's there, I was going to say Hechicero because if you look at those 2 matches he had with Bandido and some of the other matches he had, around AW and CMLL, he's just been awesome.
I will say as well, to call back to what you said earlier with Swerve Strickland having a quiet year. He's had a quiet year, but he's also had an impactful one.
Yeah.
You go back, we only care about Ricochet's heel turn because of the work with Swerve Strickland. We only care about Hangman as much as we do because of the work he did with Swerve. But you in terms of the current character of Hangman leads back to the work he's done with Swerve.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about Hangman's work this year, those emotional beats he's had with Swerve are what really fucking resonated. Mm-hmm. And then us saying the Death Riders really got fucking good this year started at Dynasty with Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
I could buy Swerve as an unsung hero.
Remember at Revolution, the way that ended after that awful fucking match with Mox, Cope and Christian, where Swerve just jumped out the crowd and Swerve stopped Mox.
Yeah, and then Everton gone on fire again, didn't it?
That made me believe. That genuinely made me believe. Also, Swerve's return at the end of the year was fantastic.
Literally, everyone believed Swerve was winning at Dynasty, or they wanted it at Dynasty.
I remember Big Tasty made a very bold claim that he's not followed through on.
So, are we going to say
what did you say? What was it?
Tasty said if Swerve doesn't win at Dynasty, he's going to start watching TNA over AW.
So, Briscoe, Ricochet, and Swerve, and we'll give it to Ricochet.
I think Ricochet, yeah.
Ricochet, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to stop doing the recaps because we'll literally just read them out twice. It's stupid. Moment of the year. We've got a big list here, so we'll try and power through them. I put some silly ones on here for a laugh, see if we can spot them. So we've got Tanahashi gets talked down from the ladder in the cage match at Forbidden Door. The Elite hug it out, finally. Hangman opens the briefcase. Swerve returns at full gear. Let the bodies hit the floor. Anarchy in the arena. Swerve gives Hangman the chain. A cocaine bear appears. I don't know, some eat shit. CM Punk sucks a blood money covered dick. Hulk Hogan dies. Swerve acknowledges what he did to Hangman. All the intergender violence, but specifically Mox hitting Willow with the paradigm shift on Dynamite. Very specific, but I like it.
Yeah.
Bear Bronson wins the Nick Gage Invitational. and Pud and Christie turn on Tommy and Casey at Infamous 8
And
tournament.
I had to watch a child cry. It was heartbreaking. It's fully like, yeah.
So going through with a bullet here is Hangman opens the briefcase, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say
Like-
I'd say Hogan dies as well. You know.
Yeah.
I do look.
I do love that he's not there anymore. To be fair,
It does make me happy that Hogan is dead.
In terms of moments that just made me yell with so much laughter
The
and
Dead Hulk
excitement.
Hogan Award?
When the bodies hit the floor at Anakin Arena, that moment just
Yeah.
called back to my fucking late noughties, fucking new metal, fucking like. It was just, oh my god, it was so fucking. It was
Yeah.
like the one time this year, other than Hangman at All In, I wish I was in that fucking crowd, because my god, to hear that and just see everyone literally mosh pitting during a fucking
so are we taking
wrestling
bodies?
match.
Bodies
Yeah.
going up?
Yeah.
And it also it pays off the Young Bucks boat, which then you'd have the fucking collision song,
Yeah.
Elton John
Yeah.
going. It was just amazing.
I will say, Swerve's return at Full Gear Tasty. I reacted the same way I did when Adam Cole debuted.
Did you
Yeah.
really?
I
Did that make me happy? Did that make me happy? Than a father dying? Like that's the only question.
I genuinely was like half asleep on the couch and shut up.
Oh, it absolutely popped me.
Yeah. So,
Just in the effort to keep this positive and happy, I would maybe lean towards Swerve's return.
and also we got the fucking Hit Different debut as well with that,
Oh, what a song!
and
Yeah.
that's like that is like the best
Yeah.
entrance music around at the moment for me.
Swerve
Okay.
looked like he ate another Swerve as well.
Yeah, you
Like-
convinced me. I didn't need much convincing, but you've convinced me.
I-
So we'll have
as
Swerve
much-
returns,
As much
bodies.
as I love the idea of Christian Cage feuding with Nick Hogan, this is better.
Can I just give a little shout out though to Pud and Christie turning on Tommy and Casey at the Infamous 8 tag tournament?
Yeah.
Because like they were all like, because the Infamous 8 was like tag teams this year, and it was like a sort of like a multi-man tag like final,
Mm.
and
Was this the typical? Was this the typical VGS? We're going to enter two teams, so they had a better chance of winning, and then it all
Yeah.
went horribly wrong.
yeah, and then Bud and Christie absolutely murdered Tommy and Casey, and in front of little Thomas, and
The kids
it
are
was-
alright.
The kids were not alright. It was
No, those kids, Pud and Christie, they're alright.
oh no, they're not. Like fuck those no. But Matthew actually
fuck
got up
them
and
kids.
like Matthew got up and like walked out. Like he was like so angry. Like I'm not even joking.
I
Like-
feel like we should raise it just for that. But I think the three we've got there.
Yeah, but yeah,
then-
shout out to that because that was honestly
And
the
then
most heartbreaking moment this year.
Easiest winner of the night is Hangman opens the briefcase.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah.
yeah.
Faye's
It made me care
existential
about-
crisis.
They made me care about a title belt that I didn't realize I cared so much about. Like, the fuck is that
Yeah.
about?
Right. Women's Wrestler of the Year, or Female Wrestler of the Year, if you prefer it more biologically correct. Mercedes Moné, Willow Nightingale, Tekla, Tony Storm, Athena, or Chris Statlander.
I mean, it's hard to argue Mercedes, isn't it?
I think there's an easy three here.
I think there's an easy three.
Is it
It's-
Tony
I-
Storm, Mercedes, and Willow?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
ooh, I was going to say Athena, Mercedes, Tony Storm, Athena.
I think it's a toss up between Athena and Willow. Personally, I'm happy to.
I feel
I feel like
all
Athena's
of
done
the-
better like single this year.
I feel like all of Athena's big achievements were last year, though, like 2024.
But you think about the matches he's had this year when we almost thought she was going to beat Mercedes. We almost thought she was going to beat Tony. Like,
She
The
did
three-
win the
the-
casino gauntlet.
the three, like the big matches we've been talking about this year was when's Mercedes Moné going to face off against Athena? When's Athena going to face off against Tony Storm? And then Tony Storm going to face off against Mercedes Moné? And they delivered on all of them this year.
Yeah, but Willow's title win against Mercedes just sneaks into the year. Just.
Yeah, there is that as
Yeah.
well.
And I think that puts her over the top.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Who's Athena defended the ROH Women's title against on the pay-per-views this year? She had that really good match at Persephone at Final Battle.
That was so good.
Yeah, she faced Mina as well. They faced off against Mina Shirakawa this year.
I'll get them up. I've got cage match open.
It wasn't
High-end
Billy,
this
was
year as well. They've had good matches with the Mayo World and
Oh,
High-end this year.
it was. Oh, actually, no, it was Thunder Rosa at Supercard though, which was shit. Oh. So my thing with Willow is
I
that
forgot they had that one Ronda Rousey thing this year, didn't they?
that was last year.
Was that last year? Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get my ears mixed up.
I think.
Hasn't she faced against Harley as well on ROH as well?
Yeah.
Chikara Shida.
What was it Shida?
Mm-hmm. Shida at Supercard of Honor.
I thought it was Thunder Rosa at Supercard of Honor. What was the one that was the day before All In?
And you've got to think about the ones at Dynasty earlier on in the year, like literally, like Wrestle Dynasty was so good.
Yeah,
that little feud that she had with fucking AZM, was it? Azumi?
It was Theckel, wasn't it? She had a little mini feud with Theckel earlier in Stardom, yeah.
Yeah. It was just all like that little bit.
I think. I mean, the other thing we've got to remember is Athena hit 1,000 days as ROH Women's Champion this year.
Mm-hmm. And Athena's done so much external stuff as well as like internal too.
She did show up at Rev Pro and absolutely murder Mercedes Blaze.
And you had the Athena's and Mercedes tag team as well this year, which has been really fun towards the end of the year in the tag run. And then
she's been on CMLL.
And that tag match they had with against Mercedes and Harley recently.
Okay, hear me out. I propose to you Mercedes, Athena, Willow.
And what, just not include Toni Storm?
Didn't Toni Storm win it last year?
Probably.
She walked it last year.
Yeah, she did.
She fucking.
But I think
last
I
year.
mean we're grading on a curve, but I think Tony's had a slightly less dominant year than she had the year before.
I think with Tony this title run it's had big moments, but it's not like been a consistently great title run like a previous ones.
And I love Tony, and she's we're talking about like 4 9.6 to 9.9 performances here.
Yeah,
out of these 4 ladies.
I think based on like what we know Tony's capable of. And I think there was that when she lost the women's title, there was that kind of little rut that she was in.
But it's only because the last time she lost the title to Mariah, there was this. She went straight into that storyline and she reinvented herself. There's not been anything like that this time. It's just sort of been a thing that's happened. And like, I'm not saying there has to be something, but just because of the standard she set last time, it's not quite hit the same this time.
I do enjoy like her run of I'm league someone kill me was basically the end of her title reign, where she was throwing herself into triple threats, into fatal 4-ways, into nonsense just for someone to finally beat her.
She wanted to like go.
But Willow's had like the stuff against the Death Riders.
She brought intergender wrestling to AEW.
Yeah.
Oh, there was that match where she battered Dax. Actually, now put Willow up.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
I'm up for giving it to the other 3 just to like.
I think because Tony's not had this
by her own high standards.
Yeah, because Tony's had better years, and it's not to say she's had a bad year, but it's just.
I don't think it's how she started the year, and then also she's had the big matches with Mercedes.
How can you deny a woman who's holding 2 women's belts in AEW at the moment, at the end of the year?
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Shout out to Thekla and Chris Stanley, who we just haven't spoken about on this, by the way, because Thekla's year is next year.
Yeah. And I think Thekla makes me feel things.
Thekla and Stat we're going to be talking about next year.
Megan Bain as well. I think she's going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
I think Thekla's going to have one of those women's singles belts. I don't know which one. Yeah.
But she's going to have one of them.
I can, to be honest, I can see her dethroning Stat.
That's what I think is going to happen eventually.
I feel like she's the right choice to dethrone Stat, unless they want to just have Willow do it and give her all the belts, which I'm okay with as well. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that.
Winner-wise, I think it has to be Mercedes, right? Like, who?
Yeah.
How can you deny the year Mercedes has had?
Because she books
Even
she does her own creative. Ollie, she books herself. How does she manage to get all these bookers to just win titles?
Yeah.
even
Tony
Even
Khan does
with
it for her.
the-
He pays them to give her titles.
It does. Even with you look aside from like all the belts she's won.
Sorry, I got possessed by JD from New York there for a second.
It's all right.
It's okay with me.
It's all right. Even if you look past all the belts that she's won and just look at like her pay-per-view matches,
Oh, and she also got him hoofed off commentary at
she did.
House of Glory, which is fucking hilarious.
She did,
Yeah.
and then Ricochet said that he also wanted that to happen, which made me laugh so much. But yeah, I think even if you look past like the belt collector thing, just based on her pay-per-view matches alone, she's like
Mhm.
And
comfortably ahead of everyone
only one
else.
of these women wrestled at Doncaster this year.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Mercedes is.
Also,
The
who can
downfall-
forget her whirlwind romance with the Beast Mortis?
That's very true. That's very true.
Or as I referred to him, the Beast Thwartos.
And she didn't even need meat either to like charm
No,
him with like Roddy
fantastic.
did.
Handsome Frank even did a run-in for her on one of the shows.
Ugh,
Beast
love that.
Mortos, fucking lawyer as well. Like, because the guy couldn't
Brought
afford him.
attorney at Raw,
Like,
Yeah.
dude's fucking talented, man.
He's awesome.
and he's gorgeous.
So that's Mercedes Moné as Women's Wrestler of the Year with fellow finalist Willow Nightingale and Athena. I think that's a solid selection of glittering
I-
champions that we've got there.
I think the next one's the one we're all going to argue about.
Right. I mean, I'm tempted because this has gone quite long. I'm tempted to finish on this one and then maybe doing a second show for Match of the Year and the assorted accoutrement.
Yeah.
You could make have a real because I don't think at this point we're going to give Match of the Year the sort of the recognition it deserves.
That works for me.
So we're happy to reconvene next week to finish that off.
Yeah.
And we can just put a bit more time into this because I feel like this is going to go in circles a little bit.
Yeah.
So we are through as the Oscars because it's a patriarchy. We are finishing with Men's Wrestler of the Year because the men have to finish last because men normally finish first.
Hey.
So I've been watching too much Tony Storm. There's too many innuendos in this. I do apologise. So Men's Wrestler of the Year, we have the proto star Kyle Fletcher, to say his full name, Bandido, Konosuke Takeshita, Claudio Castagnoli, Hangman Adam Page, John Moxley, and Hechicero.
I think we fight Claudio off because he's on the Hunsung.
Quite a compact list, but we didn't pick him, so it doesn't count.
Same with Hechicero.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're in contention. So I think if it was for like 3 months ago, Mox would be an easy scratch off this, but my God, he came back strong.
I think personally, top three for me would be the top three that we've got there: Fletcher, Bandido, and Takeshita.
But you're gonna have to pry
But
Adam Page out of Faye's cold dead hands.
I
And
know,
Mox.
I know, I'm very aware of that. But if we're looking at like match quality alone,
Is that what we're looking at though? Just match quality.
Takeshita won the G1.
Takeshita
Yeah,
won the
and won
G1 and the IWGP
IWGP.
Championship.
Yeah.
I think that puts him in.
Yeah. Kyle Fletcher's had the best year of his career. He won the TNT title. He was a semi-finalist in the C2, and he started off with the match with Ospreay in the cage. He had the whole feud with Briscoe that we were talking about earlier, and he also that brilliant match with Hangman for the world title,
Yeah.
where they
See,
cut.
do you know what? I'd be if you put a gun to my head now and said pick three right now, I'd say Fletcher, Takeshita, Moxley.
See, mine is Hangman, Moxley, Fletcher.
Mine's Hangman, Moxie Fletcher.
Mine's Takeshita, Bandido, Fletcher.
But I think Takeshita has to go through.
And
I'd put Hangman over Mox.
See, the argument I'm going to make with Bandido is like not only has he been incredible in the tag team division, which we've already established with Brody, though. All his ROH title defenses that are on pay-per-view have been brilliant. He's had 2 matches with the Hechicero. He's had the survival of fittest match on Final Battle, and he had the match with Takeshita, which was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
He also got out of the Jericho Megaverse. He survived that. So just for that, he should fucking go up.
So it's tricky because I think Fletcher,
Feels
Bandito,
forbidden not
Takeshita,
putting Hangman up though.
but I think Fletcher, Bandito, Takeshita are the three best wrestlers in the world in terms of a pure athletic ability.
I think with Hangman, like,
but I think Hangman and Mox have had the best full year stories.
That's what I say. What's because I personally, like, yes, Bandito's had a cracking year in terms of matches, but I wouldn't say I've been invested in Bandito's I've only really cared about Bandito's matches after they've happened because I've heard how much of a banger they are. I've not gone out my way to watch a Bandito match until later in the year, and especially like this one of Brodito, brilliant. But in terms of actually wanting to get invested and like rooting for somebody or rooting against somebody this year, like.
All I want is storylines and entrances. That's what I'm trying to say. No,
The thing is that
I'm being facetious. I totally get your point. I totally get your point.
Which is why I think for me Fletcher beats Takeshita because Fletcher's given me more reasons to give a shit this year. Takeshita's put on bracking matches. Yes, he won the G1. Yes, he's the IWGP champion. Both fucking insane achievements.
Takeshita's got to go through for that,
especially for someone technically outside of New Japan, even though he's got a dual contract, but. Talk to New Japan fans about that. Triple contract because of DDT as well. But in terms of like the story I've wanted from Takeshita has barely fucking happened, and that's his match of Okada.
Yeah.
Like if you'd given me an actual Takeshita Okada
that's coming this year.
Getting that 2026. Get to end of 2026. I would love to be able to say Takeshita is Wrestler of the Year and Takeshita versus Okada is Feud of the Year. But I'm waiting for that still, if you get what I mean. Whereas Fletcher,
with respect to that, then do we kick the Takeshita can down the road one more time and be like, next year's the year it's all going to finally
because
happen. But he won the G1.
He won the G1. He was the IWGP Championship. His stuff with Kenny this year, fantastic, iconic. You've got to remember that. That's what set it up.
Again, the Bandito match as well.
Takeshita's got to go through.
I'd rather have Fletcher over Takeshita. Personally.
It's Takeshita, Fletcher, Hangman. That's what it is.
I think Fletcher's probably going to be the one we're all agreeing on winning anyway. To be fair,
I'm Team Hangman, but that's me. But
I think
it is
Fletcher. I think Fletcher was the only person we all had in our three, wasn't it?
We all unanimously said Fletcher.
So he goes up regardless of
anything. I think it's got to be Fletcher's done everything I've wanted in terms of because like I love. Don't be wrong. I love. You can show me a match that I've know nothing about and I will enjoy it. But fuck me if you make me give a shit. And his feud of Ospreay this year, like his feud with Hangman this year, the Briscoe, like the dude is.
His feud with Hangman was great because it was almost like a double, not quite double babyface, but it was like Hangman's whole thing of just you're not ready.
It was a flip. It was a flip of the Hangman versus Jericho from like 5 years when AEW fucking started. So like literally, that match was where it was like the fuck's Hangman doing here? He's not going to win. Proved himself, and Fletcher did the exact same thing.
Yeah, and it also has kind of give them a ready-made like when Fletcher does inevitably win the AEW Men's World Championship, it gives him a ready-made first challenger in Hangman.
Yeah,
because Hangman was like, you weren't ready, now you are. Prove it to me that you can do it again. Sort of thing. I think. The thing is, I think
Hangman's title defenses were bangers as well, though, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah, Hangman has not really had a bad fucking match this year.
If it come down to between Hangman and Mox, I'd say Hangman.
See, Mox is the Death Riders.
But Mox did the coat match.
That's why we've done Faction of the Year, though. Like a lot of Mox's stuff.
Can you take a 5-star match machine like Takeshita out for someone who wrestled that coat match?
No, that's why we're doing Takeshita, Fletcher, Hangman. Like that's it. That's your 3.
What was your 3, Ollie?
Mine was Fletcher, Hangman, Mox.
I feel like we're coming around to Hangman.
I'd say out of I'd say if I was dropping Bandito, it would be Fletcher, Takeshita, and Hangman.
Yeah, that's
So,
it.
with ultimate respect to Bandito, and I appreciate that. Again, not saying that Hangman hasn't, but Bandito's had to work a lot harder to get onto this list than Hangman has.
Yeah.
In terms of what he's had to do in the ring. But with respect to him, obviously it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy because it's never easy because Hangman's literally one of the best in the world and he's proven that every time he steps in the ring and he walks out on the stage. But it's a little bit easier to have the big moments when you're the main character.
Well, I think as well, what it goes back to, like, given the fact the rise that we've seen of Bandito alongside Brody, and now he's finally getting matches and storylines. Again, I think 2026 they keep this momentum up. Absolutely, he's going to be in contention, and there's going to be.
I think there's going to be
investment
for a Ring of Honor guy to a proper AEW guy.
Yeah, like take the RH title off of him and get him properly in AEW, having proper feuds with, and not just having banger matches, but actually having feuds.
Hear me out here, guys. Have him just beat MJF for the world title and just go from there. That's the safest bet we can do. We can't risk having MJF as the fucking champion this long. It's already been too long. It's only been 2 weeks.
So I think we send Hangman up then. Yeah. So then it's just the final. It's Mox. Look me dead in the eyes and tell me the man who did that with Adam Copeland is better than the G1 winner.
It's Takeshita.
Oh, Faye said Takeshita.
I didn't say it was. I'm not voting for Mox there.
I'm happy to concede on Moxley, but I just wanted it to, like, basically you do not get the rise of Hangman without Moxley and the Death Riders, and you don't.
Mate, I will talk about that forever and ever and ever.
And you do not, unlike the back when Moxley lost that title, we all thought, oh, he's going to go away. We'd have to care about Mox anymore. Moxley made you fucking care. Like when people were done with Moxley dragged people into giving a shit about him.
Moxley's late year thing of I'm just going to wrestle my way through a face turn has been incredible.
I'm gonna say with Mox though the same thing we said with Tony Storm, in that he's had better years.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not that Mox isn't like worthy of it, because fuck me, it's John Moxley, he's the ace of the company. But also there's been years where he's done more and had better runs than this one. Which
also,
is why
honourable mention to Hiroshi Tanahashi for his retirement year.
Go Ace.
We're not quite. He retired in 2026.
That was Tanahashi's like farewell year, though.
I didn't really list it as moment of the year because it was such a small thing. But one of the little moments of the year that I really enjoyed, and you were here for it as well, Jay, was when Shibata and Tanahashi teamed together at Red Pro, and they both cried afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, that was when Tanahashi cried and Shibata's music came on at Wrestle Kingdom. Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah, that did me in. That killed me.
So somewhere, Tanahashi's still angry about Naito's entrance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so are we leaning towards the Takeshita here then?
I'll say, give it.
I
in
think
terms of the third.
I think so. Yeah. Wait, as wrestler of the year, or
no, as the third. The third bolded one. And then, I mean, so then we
has to be Fletcher by elimination.
Well, it doesn't have to be Fletcher, but conventional
wisdom
conventional wisdom says we all picked him, so that would be our.
I would say Fletcher was the one we were all unanimous on, so it makes sense that Fletcher's the.
I mean, it's good to win at the PWI, isn't it? Because like he literally lost his biggest match of the year.
Fuck those rules.
But it feels like, as you said, Jay, it feels like he's so brilliantly poised now to have a really interesting 2026 because he's failed twice now at the first hurdle in the G1 finals. He lost his big match with Hangman. Like, there's going to be some sort of Don Callis family's going to implode in some spectacular capacity when Takeshita and Okada finally go at it properly.
The thing with Kyle, which is very interesting, is that he was pretty much like betting that he was going to be winning the C2 this year.
Yeah.
Like he was that's what he was like, his ace in the hole when he lost the TNT titles. Well, I'm just going to win the C2 and get into the belt. And I don't think he's finished with Mox. I think that's the match that Mox is having at Revolution.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely probably odds-on favourite already to win the Casino Gauntlet at All In.
What I find is staggering is that we're at the end of the year and the three go back to the Don Callis faction, he's not a faction. The three mainstays of the Don Callis faction, Okada, Takeshita, and Fletcher, could all be poised to have massive babyface runs in 2026.
I don't want a babyface Okada. I want evil Okada.
I think Okada's going to be a massive cunt to Takeshita for losing the IWGP title.
But that little that little shadow of the old Rainmaker during the end of the Tanahashi match.
Yeah,
it's still nice. There. Like the fans went for it.
Okada looked like he was like heartbroken all the way through that match.
Like you could literally end of those three all turning face by the end of 2026.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I think Kyle Fletcher's just such an incredible, like, angry goblin, man.
Yeah,
he is. But I think the fans also want to cheer for him.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because he's such a great wrestler that you can't help but like love what he does.
The thing is, though, the fans you don't have to be face for that.
No, but the fans turn to Takeshita face. The fans are going to turn Fletcher face.
Like, their husbands.
I think though, like when we're looking at like we were having this conversation a couple of days ago as well, where as well as like those guys, you look at guys like Speedball and Kevin Knight, for example, and obviously Swerve and Hangman. They're all poised to have massive years. Like,
be so flush with fucking talent, right? Jesus,
it's an embarrassment of fucking riches.
You know what's really telling as well? So AEW Full Gear and so we'll go back. We're going to circle back to this. AEW Full Gear ended the AEW pay-per-view calendar with none of the elite wrestling on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are talking about how AEW is poised to have an amazing year going into 2026 when we don't know we don't know if Kenny's ever going to wrestle a singles match again. We don't know how many matches the Young Bucks are going to have left in them. We don't know what's on the docket for them. But because of the strength, and it's going to be built around people like Fletcher, like Takeshita. Obviously, Hangman Page is just the sort of the staple who's there all the time. You know, whenever we need big emotional beats, he's always there. He's always delivering. Whenever you like, I mean, we haven't even talked about the fact we talked about Fletcher's moments, and the man's a 5-star match machine. He is the new Ospreay. Like, he really is.
Hangman is the current ace of the company now. He is the main character. Fletcher's poised to be that in the future.
I mean, if we're going off like Meltzer ratings, and obviously they're not like gospel be all and end all, but Hangman literally had, I think it was 5 pay-per-views back to back.
Yeah.
With where he had matches that are 5 and above.
Yeah.
I think for the emotional weight of what Hangman's done this year, I think Hangman has to win it.
I disagree.
It's head or heart, isn't it? Do you value Fletcher's phenomenal output? And it is phenomenal. And I don't think we've realised how good Fletcher's been this year when you look at it as a year across.
I still don't think we've seen the best of him either.
No, and I don't know when we'll see another wrestler have a year as. I think you haven't seen a year this good since like Prime Ospreay, like Prime Ospreay.
I think that the thing for me that's pushing Fletcher over Hangman right now, to go back to match quality, is Kyle Fletcher was having like just random ass matches on Dynamite, and it was like, fuck me, that could be a match of the year contender. Like, his match with Speedball in the C2, his match with Okada in the C2.
That's what I was going to bring up. It's
his
like,
match with Mox.
My heart is saying, go, Jack.
I was going to say, he had a random match with fucking Brody King on an episode of Dynamite, and I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
Over the last 2 months, over C2 time, Hangman's matches have been his match against Joe, like the cage match, and then the 4-way. And I wouldn't say they were of the level of the stuff he was having at the start of the year, right? Like, we can all, like, especially his run with the title, and they don't really compare on the likes of his title defenses against Fletcher, or even his title defense against MJF.
His matches with Swerve, though, was great.
But, like, whereas you look at Fletcher, he's had banger after, the match of Briscoe, obviously. And then he's had, as you said, the C2 matches. So he's been wrestling continuously on Dynamite and Collision. He had the best match of the C2, arguably, against fucking Moxley. Like, that's where, when you said it's head versus heart, my head's kind of leaning more to Fletcher just because of what they've both done comparably in the latter 2 to 3 months. Whereas, like, emotional investment for the first 9-10 months, it's Hangman.
I think as far as actual consistency goes, it's Fletcher. Like, as far as like work rate and consistency, like a lot of, because obviously they were trying to stop Hangman from like getting injured and stuff like that. A lot of stuff building up into the Mox match was just a lot of just promos and angles and stuff like that, which is fine. Like, if we were going off purely story, it would be Hangman Walker. But I think from actual week in week out wrestling, it's Kyle Fletcher.
I'm inclined to agree with you, especially as we've all had Fletcher in our picks as well.
Yeah, I think I can't remember the last time we've actually just picked someone on pure match output for rest of the year. And I think this year might be the time to do it because Fletcher's been that hot.
Well, you say it's just match output, but he also has had those story beats. He's had
he has.
With Osprey.
And I don't mean to damn him with it. I'm not going on like he's some sort of worker guy who can't talk, because he can talk. And and when was it? Did he shave his head this year or was it last year?
This year.
This year is part of the Osprey feud,
which has been like that. Has been a revelation. That's made that.
Was it not last year before the C2?
No, it was. It was the cage match.
What that's done for his look has been phenomenal. Like, it's made him as a performer.
And all the pink gear.
Yeah, and the pink gear and the chaps, which I know Hangman has the chaps as well, but Kyle wears them so much bitchier, and it's great.
He has the tiniest panties.
Yeah. And I think for that reason alone, he should be our rest of the year. With all
he shaved his head in October 2020, October 2024. So it was the end of 2024. It happened.
I was going to say
it's lent into this year.
Yeah, I was going to say because last year's C2 was what kind of like bled into the sort of birth of the Proto Star, wasn't it?
So with all due respect to Takeshita as well, because it feels like he's been done dirty with Hicks, he kind of fell in between two pillars. He's also been phenomenal. Like I say, man won the G1, man won he beat Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP Championship. Yeah. You know, what a hell of a year he's had.
I think when we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, Tasty, we were saying like with Takeshita and Fletcher, it's going to come down to who has the better C2, and
it was Fletcher.
As far as Takeshita for points, but as far as match quality, it was Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Mox match puts him over the top, I think.
Fletcher had the two best matches of the tournament.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. It's official. Put a pink fork in it. Congratulations to the Untitled Wrestling Podcast's male wrestler of the year, the Proto Star Kyle Fletcher. Say his full name.
Yes.
Say his full name.
With very worthy runners-up of Konosuke Takeshita and Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nat's gonna murder us when she next sees us, Jay.
I mean, for a top, like even for a top 5, you could have had Mox and Bandido. Like, any other day, it would have been one of them.
Yeah, with respect to Claudio and Hechicero, there was a definite top 5 in that list of nominees.
So I think if Hangman's last few title matches were better, I'd argue more for it. But yeah.
Fantastic. Right, we're going to put a pause in it there. We do still have match of the year to come and a few other little bits and bobs, but we'll do that for you next week. Three podcasts in 3 weeks. What is this, COVID?
Are we back?
So we're going to call it there. We're going to recoup because my voice is going, and I've got to do a whole full phone shift tomorrow. So that'll be fun. Thank you very much for listening, for following along. Hopefully, we didn't offend anybody with all the horrible things you said about WWE and our picks. Let us know what your picks are. Do you like?
Yes.
Is Kyle Fletcher your number one? He should be. Let us know. But we'll see you next week for Match of the Year. Have a lovely rest of your day and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.